This week, in Middle Township, New Jersey, a vague rumor around town leads an entire family to exact intense revenge. Welcome to Small Town Murder. Hello and welcome to Small Town Murder.
Yay!
Oh, yay indeed, Jimmy. Yay indeed. My name is James Pietragallo. I am here with my co-host.
I am Jimmy Whisman.
Oh, thank you so much for joining us, everybody. That we are jacked this week. We're very excited. This is our week in between touring cities, so we're like home for a week.
Fresh off a home show.
Thanks for everybody who came out to Phoenix and, of course, San Francisco last week, where we had an amazing time. San Francisco's always a lot of fun. Thank you for the sellout there, everybody at Cobb's.
Thanks for Dan Rogers helping me out so much.
Thanks for a bunch of people there. You guys were so cool. Too many people to mention, but thank you guys. And we'll get into that. We have one of the crazier episodes. If you've listened for a long time, you know there's certain episodes like Rulo, which is known as Phillips, Oklahoma. Those are a couple. This is up there with that in terms of pure insanity. I don't know how long the story will go. I don't know if it'll be a full, like a 2.5 hour, if it's going to go a little short on 2 hours. But the story's so crazy. If it was 20 minutes, it would be worth. It's insane. It's one of the most insane stories. I don't know how it got no national publicity.
Nothing.
And it is the most batshit story ever. It's crazy, but we'll get to that. I just want to thank everyone, first of all, before we do get to that, for their iTunes/Apple podcast purple icon reviews.
Heroes.
Thank you for that. We really do appreciate those. If you haven't done that yet, please just get in there, give us 5 stars. They help us. It helps us move up the charts. It's not our fault. We don't care. It's not for our ego. It's iTunes and their funky algorithm that needs to be fed. It's dancing around, and we need to feed it so it keeps dancing.
It's very hungry.
It's very, very hungry.
It's doing the PV dance.
It absolutely is.
And that's just it's hungry. That's what the dance is.
It's hungry. Right. Also, what you can do for anything else, Small Town Murder or Crime and Sports, which is our other podcast, which you should most certainly be listening to, because there's really no excuse not to. It's if you don't like sports, great, perfect. It's good for you, because it's like we always say, crime and sports, always crime, sometimes some sports. So
it's a little bit peppered in.
It's mostly crime. So check that out. But go to our site, which is shutupandgivememurder.com, and you can do that. You can do everything there. You can the reviews. There are links to the reviews, links to social media, links to merchandise.
Yes.
If you want to get your Small Town Murder t-shirts or your crime and sports t-shirts or mugs or bath mats or whatever the hell it is. Also, tickets to live shows.
Please
come out to live shows next week.
Almost sold out.
Almost next week. We have Atlanta, which is close to sold out. It's Minneapolis, which has been sold out since like the day it went on sale. And then Denver, 2 days on Sunday, next Sunday. And that one's getting close too. So we're going to have a lot of fun. Get those tickets there. Another thing you can do there, if you want to be a hero, a true hero, one of our producers, the people we hold closest to our hearts, and we talk about at the end of the show, a long list of these fine people. You can do that very easily from there. You can follow the Shut Up and Give Me Murder links to patreon.com/crime and sports. You can make a donation there, or over to PayPal, where you can use our email address, which is crimeandsports@gmail.com, and make donations there. But without further ado, I think it's time for the disclaimer, because we gotta.
May as well.
I just can't wait to tell this story. It's one of those I don't want to. I don't want to fart around in the beginning, Jimmy. I want to get right into it. So disclaimer, guys. This is a comedy podcast. If you're new to the show, it's a comedy podcast, and that's what this disclaimer's for. It's to tell you that there's jokes in there. Obviously, there's murder and violence and things like that. You clearly don't mind that, because you clicked on a show called Small Town Murder. But there are jokes also, and that's what we need to warn you about, because some people don't think that true crime and comedy should go together ever, and we disagree with that. We think there's plenty of room for it. All around the actual murder, there's so much idiocy in every murder. There's a murderer trying to cover their tracks clumsily, a police force that still doesn't pick up the clues. There's just a small town. There's lots of comedy here.
Plenty of room for us to jam John Candy up your ass.
There is also. You're going to get that, and Deadwood and Wire references, and Great Outdoors, and all sorts of stuff. But what we try not to do is we try not to make fun of the victims or of the victims' families, because we're assholes, but we're not scumbags. And that's how we try to roll with this whole thing. So if that sounds good to you, awesome. We're excited to have you on on board. You're going to have a great time because we're going to have a ball. If that doesn't sound good to you and you're one of the true crime and comedy people that don't think they go together, hey, you know what? No offense. It's cool. We're all good. Nice to meet you. We'll all shake hands and then turn around and head on out the door because you're not going to have a good time. We don't want to hear you.
Enjoy this.
Don't want to hear you complaining later. So everybody else that's still left, hopefully most of you, it is time, and it's a crazy one. So let's get it on wherever you are in your cars and your cubicles. Obviously, if you're working for a quieter, more conservative company, you may want to go to the bathroom in a stall and quietly say to yourself, but everybody else shout it, shut up and give me murder. Let's do this, Jimmy. Let's go on a trip. What do you say, buddy? You ready?
Let's do it.
Let's do this. We are headed all the way out. We've been all over the place lately. Now we are headed all the way to New Jersey this time, which is a trip. From last time. We're going all the way to Middle Township, New Jersey, which is, it is at the very bottom of Jersey. When you think of Jersey and you think of, next to Philly there and below New York, or you're kind of next to New York too, I guess.
On the water.
Below, it's on the water. It's all this is the very, very tip of the southern part. This is the this is practically the South. It's next to Delaware and Maryland, and it's the South, basically. It is most certainly the Jersey Panhandle, which is two words have never fit better together than Jersey Panhandle.
All right.
This is the Jersey Panhandle. So whatever you think that is, it is. Yeah. That's the thing. There's no, I don't want to, it's a stereotype. No, it's true. It's all true. Jersey Panhandle. These are like Jersey hillbillies almost, of the people here. Back then. This is back, our story's going to take place in 1980. Okay. So, back then, now I don't know what the frick it's like. It doesn't matter. But back then,
it's probably about the same.
It's probably about the same. Because Southern Jersey has gone, like Atlantic City has really gone to shit again now. Like they just gave up. Every 20 years, they try to revitalize Atlantic City, and they go, oh, no, it's a dump. Okay, never mind. But
Jersey doesn't change much. Like, they've got the Jersey Shore back on MTV.
Yeah,
and they are exactly the same. They're all about 30 pounds heavy.
Yeah,
but
Jersey's
the same
never.
thing.
Jersey's
same
never.
Shit.
Yeah, Jersey's never changed much, honestly. I grew up in New York. We used to go there on vacation.
Yeah.
That's how great my childhood was. We're going to New Jersey on vacation. Yay, I think. Great. Wow. Oh, good. The beaches are open. There's no more medical waste on there because this was in the 80s. So it was like, the syringes are all cleaned up from last week when it was, okay, good. That's great. This is about an hour and 15 minutes to Philly, about 2.5 hours to New York, and also about 2.5 hours to Baltimore. Wow. So think about how that triangulation is.
That's fascinating.
In no time, you could get to New York, Philly, or Baltimore, which are way different fucking places. Yeah. Like Baltimore and New York are so different, it's not even funny. But you're just right there.
Philly's
its own thing completely.
Cool.
Philly's cool as shit.
Hip.
Yeah, I love Philly.
So
Philly's awesome.
It's terrifying still.
But we had one of the best times in Philly when we went there as far as like the crowd. Incredible. Those people are animals, and we fucking loved them. Our show is like, if you're an old school wrestling fan, it was like an ECW crowd. Like they were rowdy, but in a great way. Yeah. Like they were into it. That's why we loved them.
Shouting shit that mattered.
Oh, yeah.
None of this boomer sooner.
Yeah, none of that bullshit. They were really into it. Drunk people that if you said shut the fuck up, the whole crowd would go roar with approval that you told them to shut the fuck up.
Or they go, no, you shut the fuck up.
It was wonderful. So we love Philly, but I mean, this is a weird place if you think about it. Just it's so strange. It's in Cape May County, and we'll tell you how it's broken down. Cape May County, again, really weird, abnormally broken up. Zip code 08210, area code 609. It's a big area, this whole area, because there's a lot of like I don't know what you'd call it. Well, there's a lot of like areas in it. It's 82 square miles.
That's big.
Okay, the county is the whole panhandle is the county. That takes up the whole panhandle, and it's broken into 3 townships, and this is Middle Township, and they have upper and lower, so it's broken up like that. So, and inside the townships, they're boroughs basically. So it's kind of like in Brooklyn, Bed-Stuy is a place in Brooklyn where you say, oh, that guy got shot in Bed-Stuy, but it's still technically Brooklyn because it's in the borough of Brooklyn. That's just a section of Brooklyn. So it's that sort of thing here.
I love the event that you use is a man's murdered.
Well, it's apt for what we're doing. That's a person murdered.
It's pretty awesome. awesome.
Because because we're going to say this person was murdered in another place, but it's inside Middle Township, but it's another town, not a town, but a section, whatever.
Gotcha.
Fuck New Jersey. Anyway.
It's a weird place.
It's a weird place. See, this is great because as a New Yorker, we get to shit right on New Jersey. That's one thing that New Jersey gets. And everyone in New Jersey just kind of shrugs and goes, I get it. I'm from New Jersey. What do you expect? You know, it's that sort of thing. And also too, everybody, we've taken some heavy shots on the South a lot lately, a lot of Southern shows, a lot of Western shows. And now we're going to make fun of the Northeast, and you'll see that I'll go just as hard after my own people, if not harder, because I know the shittiness that they have. I'm not even guessing. I get it.
We rope-a-dope the fuck out of Sunny Slope last week.
Well, we live here. We beat that up, and no one can argue that. Go to Sunny Slope and drive around for 5 minutes and tell me how many crackheads you almost hit with your car as they skittered out in front of you.
At 4 p.m. Yeah. It's fucking weird.
Check it at 2 a.m.
Yeah.
So 82 square miles, 70 of it is on land, and then the rest is the surrounding coast, obviously. And it's the middle of the Panhandle, just a big swath of area. Motto of this town, quote, where New Jersey truly meets Panhandle. So that's very nice. They're made for our show. That's perfect there. History of this place. It's really just, the history's not that exciting, honestly. There's some stupid shit here. No county seat fighting for records or any crazy shit like that. There were Native Americans, obviously, there first. They were there to hunt and fish during the summer.
And tan.
Which makes sense. Get real nice tans. Absolutely. That's great. The area that's now Cape May County was claimed as part of New Netherlands, New Sweden, the province of New Jersey under the British Crown, and later West Jersey it was. So it kind of got tossed around because first that area belonged to the Dutch, and then it's been passed around quite a bit. If you read like the history of New York, it's interesting how many different regimes they've had.
And there's a Jersey in the UK, correct?
I'm sure, yeah. There's a New Jersey, because there's a York and Jersey, and everything new is from over there.
There's a Hampshire over there too.
There's a Hampshire, I assume, and a new anything. Yeah. There's a whole England. So a whole entire England, an old England, just all of it. They had 1609, August 28, 1609, English explorer Henry Hudson entered the Delaware Bay.
Okay.
And then everything was named after him from then on. And,
I did not know that there was a person.
Yeah, Henry Hudson. He found the Hudson River and all that shit.
I assumed, I know all about that.
You didn't know that was an actual guy, though?
No,
You thought it was just
dude.
named after an old woman who lived in the area? the
Ma
Hudson River. Ma Hudson. Ma Hudson from up on the hill. Some big fish in a river now.
I mean, if there's anything named there, you just got to assume that was a person.
A bewigged douchebag at some point.
Some fuckface with a booted heel on the front of a bow somewhere.
1609. That is an Englishman. That's a bewigged douchebag to the extent of it. He entered the Delaware Bay and stayed 1 day on land. So that's,
and then turned the fuck back,
and then went somewhere else,
and then they named everything after him.
What is now Cape May Point. That's one of their big claims to fame is Henry Hudson stopped here for a day. Wow, good for you. That's terrific. Dutch explorers came after that, which it's already found. I don't know what you're doing. I mean, when you pull up and there's already a bunch of natives fishing, you just go, oh well, never mind. Found already. Hi, how you doing? What do you call this place?
And at that point, too, I'm sure there was already syringes in the water.
That's what I mean. Yeah, a Dutch explorer, Cornelius Jacobson May, sailed the coastline of New Jersey from 1620 to 1621, and he wrote in his journal, too many syringes, hard to navigate, sorry. The medical waste is thick. It's frothy, the ocean water with medical waste.
We can't even get navigate off the boat and wade in.
Super weird.
Without puncture wounds.
We found a lot of these glass tube-like things with a bulbous end, and a lot of what appear to be fire marks around it. I don't know what those are. They smell. It's chemically smelling. That's very strange. A lot of those around.
They just clearly use this to start their fires.
Don't understand what they're
to start their kilns.
Start their crack fires. So, Jesus Christ, man. And like a lot of these, the Dutch West India Company purchased 16 square miles of land from the indigenous people in the area along the Delaware River, and then bought a bunch more land 11 years later, and then I'm sure pushed those indigenous people far, far away to a place way less good for fishing and hunting and growing things and everything else.
How did they buy 16 miles of New Jersey and go, we want more?
We want more New Jersey. We need more Jersey. Well, I'm sure they were storing shit from somewhere else there, probably. Shit, we ran out of space from the good place.
It's basically how you get from $16 of scratch-off tickets to $58 of scratch-off tickets. You go, there's got to be a winner.
There's got to be a winner, yeah. Maybe it's not this tract of land we bought. Maybe it's the next one. It can't all be this terrible, right? Right? If we buy it all, some of it's got to be good, I'm sure.
At some point, you cut your losses.
The Indians seem to have liked it. We had to kill all of them to get them off of it. So, I mean, you have to cut throats. It must be worth it, right? Shit, it's worth a throat cutting. Ridiculous. So, as if the Dutch were, as if we weren't portraying them as bad enough, they founded a town bank in this area in 1640 around the Delaware Bay because it was a big whaling village. So
really?
That's also the thing they were doing, was killing whales there too.
Did I know that there was lots of whales up there?
But the Hartford Whalers was a hockey
that makes
team.
sense.
So yeah, there used to be a lot of whalers, but the problem is, by 1685, it was diminishing because the whaling, there's not a lot of whales. That's the thing. They're huge.
Yeah.
And so it seems like there's just an ocean full of them if you see a couple of them. But in the end, there's not a ton of them. So if a lot of people hunt them, there won't be any left. That's kind of how it works with them. And that's kind of what happened there. The whales population declined. So people started, the bank kind of lost its money. And by 1750, kind of most of the town was kind of gone again. It was floundering. Yeah, it was a dead whaling community. So a lot of foresight from those people. It's going to be a whaling community for the rest of time. We're always going to be whaling here. It's going to be amazing.
The short-sightedness of our founders and people that created everything.
We still always do everything short-sighted.
We still
don't
burn
care.
dinosaurs to drive around.
It's funny.
Crazy.
Yeah, no, bridges were just like, well, we'll just fix that one part of it. And it's just, well, I know it's 200 years old, but it's fine. A lot of cars can drive.
Only one column's cracked.
Let 1 million cars drive across it a day. That can't be that much stress on it, right? It's fine. Well, when it falls into the river, then we'll fix it, okay? I don't know what to tell you. It's fucking hilarious, but that's how we are as a society. We need we're trying. I don't know how to put it into perspective.
We're out of money.
Well, not only that, but even if we had the money, we would spend it on. It's almost like if you have a house, you're not gonna. It's a great idea to put like some awesome dual pane windows in. Yeah. They save you on energy. Sure. They're really great. They're great for the house. They're good for resale value and all type of shit like that. But to spend like $10,000 on windows, they're still windows. Yeah. You can't do anything with them. You can't like watch your windows. It still looks, you look through them and you still see outside. So you're like, I spent $10,000 on nothing. And that's how like I feel like we see everything. Like if you buy like a new TV or something shiny, you can look at that. That's exciting. There's no real excitement to windows. Even when they're all done, like your windows are done. Oh, good. They're still clear.
They still look like my old windows.
Yeah. There's nothing to it. You
just got to replace them as Junior knocks them out with a baseball bat.
That's it right there. Yeah. The first water mill in the county was constructed in 1699 in Cold Spring. They also built the first Baptist church in 1712. They're going to pop churches up quickly as soon as people get somewhere. And the first Cold Spring Presbyterian church was built in 1718. They were kind of it functioned as the center of kind of the early government. Was everybody kind of met up at church to talk about what was going on, which if you don't have that many people, you can just meet wherever and talk about shit. Once you get over 100 people, then I think it's more complicated probably.
How about that? They were just mixing church and state all together.
Oh, Jesus Christ. They didn't this is pre-Constitution. It wasn't even state. It was just church and group of people that live around here. Like there wasn't a lot of formal government. It was just kind of, hey Bob, what are you gonna sweep that shit up when you're done? Okay, good. What's he doing over here? There wasn't much to talk about, really.
Now let's sing Our God is an Awesome God.
Yeah, and then we'll do that. And all right, let's do it. So, they built the first jail and courthouse in 1764. In 1750, the population was around 1,000. And, but this was a weird thing because between, southern New Jersey is a lot of forest land. It's a lot of pine forests and shit. And then this is down here by itself. Separated from everything else by a lot of forest. And in the 1700s, there's not a highway through there. There's no, they don't have the throughway that goes down the state. So you had to like trek through the forest to get here. So this was an isolated area. Like these people were considered a little out there, then it grew as it's America's oldest bathing resort, which we said, Gross, right? I'm going to go
Jersey bathing? That doesn't even match.
I'm going to go on a trek to get in water with other people. That sounds strangers from all sorts of lands. That sounds great. The actual motto, I like mine better, but they like to say it's the nation's oldest seashore resort. Fuck you.
Okay.
That's boring.
But you can't really say that, can you?
I mean, who knows? That's the thing. How many of these towns is the oldest this and the oldest that? And none of them are. They don't know. The oldest within that they heard recently.
I mean, Plymouth Rock was like the first one, wasn't it? Like,
well, they don't know.
That's a resort because it's a stay away from home.
They don't know what's happening in Myrtle Beach. They have no fucking idea. You know how long it takes to get there? Yeah. Then you have to get a guy. There's not even a telegram. You have to get a guy to bring you something on a horse and hand it to you. You know how fucking complicated that is? Jesus Christ.
And by the way, get on down to Miami because I'll bet there's been some people down there resorting like a motherfucker for
all
hundreds
sorts of people.
Years.
Yeah, they'll be down there soon to take their land as well. So, they had obviously the Revolutionary War this was a part of it, as the whole Northeast was. Two British ships pursued and attacked the American brig, which was called the Nancy, which then fled inward here into an inlet. And the Nancy was abandoned and sabotaged and killed 30 British sailors when the brig exploded after they boarded it.
Oh, that's badass.
So yeah, they ended up, I don't know if it was sabotaged or what, but the British soldiers got on to fuck with it and take it afterwards, and it exploded and killed a bunch of them. Yeah, so I don't know if it was like a booby trap, but if it was pretty goddamn smart.
That is awesome.
I gotta say. So yeah, they split it into 3 townships, Cape May County, in 1798, lower, middle, and upper. Very creative once again. During War of 1812, there was British raids that forced farms in the area to give them food and water and all sorts of shit like that, which is normal there. The oldest independent borough in the county was Cape Island Borough, which became a part of Cape May in 1869. Okay. Also, Ocean City is I think that's in Lower Township, and that's kind of the biggest. That's like the population area, what they want to call it. That was founded as a religious retreat, which a lot of these beach towns were. They were originally religious retreats, which makes no fucking sense.
And that's Ocean City?
That's Ocean City, which is all the way the hell down there. Weird place. A land development company established Avalon around there in 1887 in Cape May County. And in 1891, Woodbine was founded on the mainland as an agricultural settlement for Russian Jews who fled religious persecution.
Wow.
In 1891.
There were Russian Jews.
Yeah, lots of Russian Jews. Tons
did
of
I know that?
Yeah, you should.
I did know that.
Yeah, there's a lot of Russian Jews.
It just doesn't seem right to me.
Yeah, there's tons and tons and tons of Russian Jews.
I'm seeing a guy that looks like the guy from Rocky, and then a little Jewish guy.
No,
that doesn't make sense.
No, they were persecuted like fucking Russia too. Yeah. Well, I mean, think about the Germans, how they were with Jewish people, and
they don't famously get along.
The Russians are not really a warm and cuddly people. Also
true.
When they decide a group is out, they're fucking out. It's one of those things. So it's they were rough on those on the poor Jewish people back then. That was tough. 1928. North Cape May was founded and then dissolved after it failed to attract development. So this is what we're dealing with here. It's nothing. It was kind of floundering until the Garden State Parkway, until they built that in 1955, which then the tourists could come down and then you could get out of there.
Wow.
Highways connected everything. Once the
1955 is when that was built.
That was 1955 is when they really did the highway system and the interstate system, and that's when people got connected, and that's when people started going places.
Is that like throughout the whole country?
Absolutely,
around that?
Yeah. That was the big. Eisenhower had a giant. That was like his big works program. You know how many schools were built in the 50s? Yeah. Like back home, every school was built. Most of them, if you look, they're all built in 1955, 1956. They dumped a shitload of. He had the thing where get off on. It's not really a political thing, but he had the thing, and it's funny because if you listen to an Eisenhower speech, who was an army general. I mean, he's a square, flat top wearing Republican conservative son of a bitch. But his whole thing was, do you know how many schools you can build for the price of one bomb? It's from a military man. That's why he was the guy who said, let's not make the military industrial complex a thing, we can build roads otherwise.
We can educate children.
Yeah. But, never mind any of that. That's good.
I just I obviously I knew that the interstate system.
And don't say we're fucking hippies because Eisenhower said that. So if you think you're more square or fucking conservative than Eisenhower, you're not. Fuck you.
So I knew that the interstate system fixed a lot of things in this country and made it expand a lot further. I didn't know it was that late.
Oh, yeah. 55
is not that long ago.
No, it wasn't.
But also that is the boom of the automobile, too. You know what I mean? So
because they could get around. Because you could get around. That was the thing. That's when people could afford automobiles and you could get around in an automobile.
And cars got badass, too.
Yeah. We had that, and we had during the Depression when they had the Tennessee Valley Authority, which brought the, kind of electricity and phone shit to the hillbillies, and that was a big deal too. That brought them into a modern century. They were living like it was 100 fucking years ago. So they didn't have electricity.
Some of them still do.
Some of them still do. But I mean, back then they were living like it was the 1700s and the 30s, and they were like, if we're gonna have a country, we can't have half these people walking around fucking barefoot with no electricity. We need to. It's 1935. Let's get our shit together.
Overalls with one strap and no shirt because they can't afford it.
Yeah, no fucking rope belt. Broken. So and that strap's broken. Jesus Christ! A lot of French Canadians go down there apparently in the 90s, 2000. Tons of people from Quebec go down there a lot
to Jersey,
to southern Jersey. Really? This is a big spot for the Quebecians. I don't know what you call the Quebecers. I guess Quebecers. Yeah. That sounds better than Quebecian.
Yeah, it does.
I'm gonna go
sounds
with
like an alien.
Yeah,
sounds like something on Star Trek.
It's an old WWF tag team, I think, too.
Quebecians?
So the Quebecers.
Oh, okay.
WC, one of the two in the 90s. I don't remember. One of the Rougeau brothers was in it. Moving on. People in this town, population 18,778. It's up from, it had 14,771 in 1990. So it's growing down there for some reason. 20.9, about 21% of the people are under the age of 18.
Yeah.
Seems like there's a lot of kids down there. Also, 19% are 65 and older. Okay. So there's also a lot of retirees down there. Yeah. So it's kind of old and young. Yeah. Median age of 44.6, which is about 7 years older than normal. So the seesaw is a little bit. There's like 5 old people sitting on one side of the seesaw and like 3 teenagers. Okay. Look at it that way. It's a little dipping on the other side.
That's a long leather titty.
That's a lens just dangling on either side of the seesaw.
They aren't necessarily male or female. No. There's a little bit of both.
That's what I'm saying. More females than males, as there always is with older towns and that sort of thing. 54% of the people here are married, which is 50%, 50-50 is the norm. Yeah. That sort of thing. They have pretty normal household size. I've been fascinated with these household sizes, how many people live in households, because I feel like that's the key to happiness.
Is it? Like
the
smaller ones?
The smaller, I feel like square footage is a big deal. Yeah. I feel like if you average like 5 people in a house, that's fine, but there's going to be way more tension than if there was 2 people in that house. So 2.58.
Big goddamn house.
Or it's a big house here. Now, race of this town, it is about 83% white, 10% black. It's about 1.79% Asian, so that's about half of the norm there. 5% Hispanic, so pretty white for Jersey. That's pretty fucking white for Jersey. Like Jersey mixes in, but the towns are kind of some white towns and some, it's based on economics mostly too.
And Italian is still classified as white.
Yeah. There's a bunch of fucking guineas there. There's a lot of us spread throughout there. Yeah. So that's a separate thing anyway. I don't know because you can count it as whatever you want, but the real white bread people are like, they're not like us. I don't think those motherfuckers are loud. I was in a restaurant. There was a family of them the other day, and we're not the same thing.
They all took the steak knives. It was strange.
Sorry, it's one of those deals. I don't think they feel the same way. Now we'll see how many guineas we have here in a second. Here, 54% are religious here, which is a little bit above the average. 37% Catholic.
Holy shit!
Guineas abound, baby. God damn.
30%. 37%.
Catholics, the Baptists of the North, and they absolutely are. That is
40% almost.
Aggressive. 0.3% LDS, so they haven't been able to penetrate the southern Jersey pine forests. And get it 0.0% Jewish. So it started out as a good place for Russian Jews, and they were like, we're getting the fuck out of here. As soon as this farm starts kicking up, we're getting out of here. 0.0% Islam. 45% of this people in this county. I don't have the town voting stats, so I had to go to the county. 45% Democrat, 54% Republican.
Interesting.
Which is odd because Jersey's a blue state generally, but it does have kind of red pockets. Same as New York. The more rural areas tend to be more conservative here. Unemployment rate 6.8%, so well higher than the rest of the country.
Is it 5% nationally?
It's about 5.2 at the moment, so that's a little higher. Household income though is $57,394, which is about $4,000 over the national average. Which Jersey's expensive though too. So we'll talk. You better be making a little bit more, as we'll talk about cost of living. 100 being average, regular, par. Here, cost of living is 125 out of 100, and that's because housing is the high one at 177. Your median home cost here is $333,500.
That's steep, but for the East Coast,
it's not terrible.
Not too bad.
No, and I found there's a lot of bargains down there too right now. That's home value, but like the ones for sale, the real estate market's kind of taking a dip, and especially in places that aren't excessively desirable. Like in San Fran, shit's still really expensive, but
it's going to be that way a while.
Southern rural Jersey, it's, it'll drop a little quicker, I have a feeling. So, 333.5. The average in the country is 216. Most of your houses here are going to be between $150,000 and $300,000. You're going to get about 40% of the houses there. So a good chunk there. A lot of vacant vacation rentals here too.
Of course.
You deal with that in the winter. There's nobody there. So it's about 51% vacation rentals. So that tells you a lot. And if we've convinced you need to be in southern New Jersey in the smack dab in the panhandle, we have for you the Middle Township, New Jersey Real Estate Report. Your average 2-bedroom rental here seems like maybe the way to go at $1,350 a month, which is actually just slightly above the national average, about $1,250. 3-bedroom, 2-bath house I found here, 1,296 square feet. It's $160,000.
That's a deal.
It's not bad. I mean, it's not like a real up to date or anything like that. But hey, you know what? 1,296. You got 2 kids. Yeah, you got 2 kids or something like that. I mean, that's not, you can afford. It's not an overly excessively expensive house.
It's hard to find that in Phoenix.
Yeah, $160,000 for 3-bedroom, 2-bath. No, that'd be hard to do now. 3-bedroom, 2-bath. I found 1,700 square feet. It's a little bit nicer, but just kind of like a little spruced up version of the other one. This one's $269,000, which still for the area,
still living it,
isn't terrible. And I found one here. This is a goddamn nice house. It is on the water. Your backyard has a beach, goes right up to the beach. 4-bedroom, 3-bath. 3,100 square feet.
That's a big house.
It's a big house right up to the beach. $525,000.
Wow, that's not bad.
Which is not. I mean, it's expensive for me, but it's
a $500,000 house on the beach.
That's what I mean. For if you want to live on the beach, you're going to spend some money. So that's not a bad. That's a big house too. It's not like you got to live in a shack on the beach.
I defy you to find that in San Diego.
Oh Jesus, good luck.
It's not happening.
You got to find a studio condo.
You can rent one for half the year for that.
Definitely.
That's it.
Things to do. Found here. Not a lot. A lot of outdoor shit. Go bike around.
Yeah, there's at least gym, tan, and laundry.
You're close to the ocean on either side, or bays or whatever the fuck they are. I found the Middle Township Harvest Festival. Oh baby,
Harvest Festival.
It's basically Halloween, but they don't want to say Halloween because there's too many Catholics. I feel like a lot of old Italian ladies going around dressed all in black, holding the rosaries.
How about that? They won't celebrate death, but they will celebrate Easter, which is a dead guy.
Which is a dead guy. Yeah, this happened. We just missed it, October 28th. It's 12 to 5 p.m. free. It's totally free. They have craft and food vendors, rides, quote, entertainment. I don't know what that is. Got to be terrible if they're not even mentioning it. Not even giving a line item on that one. Halloween costume contest for kids and pets. Pre-registration required, Jimmy. Don't just fucking saunter up in a costume and expect to be judged and given the blue ribbon. You got to sign up ahead of time down at the Piggly Wiggly. The hell's wrong with you?
Surprise us.
Jesus Christ. Crime rate in this town, what we're interested in. Property crime's about 20% higher than the average in the nation. And violent crime, murder, rape, robbery, and assault, of course, the Mount Rushmore of crime, is also about 20% higher here. So it's
dangerous.
It's a crimey town, which, Atlantic City's a shit place. And Jersey's just crimey in general. There's a lot of crimey areas in there, and this is kind of out there. So
I've heard of a lot of mobsters that go to Jersey to crime. Like that's what they do.
It's there just for that.
They don't do it in New York. They try to keep it clean up here.
Well, Philly too. They used to use Philly. Yeah. Philly and New York used to use, not to get off on a subject with this one guy read his book, and Philly and New York used to use Atlantic City as kind of like their little meetup hub, and they kind of both shared it and shit like that. And it was, they used it was like their used condom they left behind, just jizz all over the streets.
Throw it back to your buddy.
Throw it out the window.
Your turn.
Throw it out the window. Push the lady of the night that you've picked up out into the street and drive off screeching with your IROC T-tops open and your Bon Jovi playing. It's that kind of town.
Throwing a 20 out the top saying, clean yourself up.
Woo! Terrible. Jesus Christ. I have a resident review of this town.
I love those.
The resident review is, quote, there are good and bad people in this community. Well, no shit.
Yeah.
The amount of people that use drugs, however, is on the rise. It is causing the crime rates increase as well. It's extremely sad to see, but makes me want to move away.
Okay.
3 stars. So not that bad.
No.
Not that bad.
That's average.
So we've run this poor town down, and we've made fun of Jersey and the Northeast, which is good, and all of my Guinea brethren. And let's talk about a murder.
I would love it.
Wow. This murder actually takes place in Swainton, which is a part of it's a Bed-Stuy of Middle Township, we'll say. It's a part of Middle Township. It's so fucking stupid and confusing. If you're not like from the East Coast, you'd go, that makes no sense. What's the town, stupid? Right. Well, it's this, but sort of that.
And now back to the show.
We have to go back here to January 10th, 1981. Jesus Christ, this is one of those stories where I had to read it and I went, no, it's not, it doesn't say that. I read the court, I actually had to fact check the court documents because I did not believe them.
You Snopes to this.
I actually was like, this is not true. Even though it's in a very reliable source of just, court decisions and law, it's dry. Nobody would it would take a lot. Yeah. You'd have to be like a legal scholar, put in different cases to cite and all this shit and write it. I would know if it was fucked up. I've read enough of these where I'd be like, this is weird. But it was written correctly, but I actually had to go find newspaper accounts to back up the court documents. That's how wacky this shit is.
You genuinely thought it was like one of those spoof news websites?
Yeah. I thought, I was like, did someone slip this in here? This
somebody
can't
editing
be right.
Wikipedia.
Yeah, dude, that's exactly what it was. Okay, then he went to Southern Methodist University, and then he worked for he worked for Intel for a few years, and then he went to Mars and did a sex tape with Pamela Anderson after she had hepatitis C. So that's odd. I didn't. And then he got married, had 3 kids, and is currently the CEO of. Well, what the fuck is going on? That's what it was like. It was very Mad Libby. Geez. All right, let's just start from the beginning here. This is one of those stories too. You can start it anywhere, and you just be like, just dive in, man. Just dive in and just fucking flop around the muck. We'll start with January 10th, 1981, and we'll work backwards. How's that sound? January 10th, 1981, a former policeman in the area named Bert Schubert, which sounds like a former policeman.
That's the dude that was fired.
Very high sideburns, I feel, on that man. All the way up, above the ears. Yeah. Still rocks the flat top. Mustache, very much under control, though. Does not dangle below the lip whatsoever.
No. He's got about a third of an inch gap between lip and mustache.
Yeah. He's got it, but it's a thick one, though. Yeah. He's got it all taken care of.
And he was fired, correct?
We don't know that. He's just a former policeman. He drinks his coffee precisely at 6:10 every morning. He's one of those guys. He's got it planned out. He's got newspaper, coffee, and then he shits at 6:27. Yes. He's got it all lined up. And he leaves the house at 6:45. That's how it works. Because he takes a shower before he shits, because he's kind of a weirdo.
He's a strange man.
He's one of those kind of guys, He's a pre-shower. He's a post-shower shitter, which is a sign of a psychopath. So if you know you're going to shit at a certain time and you decide to shower before, I'm not saying if it happens, it happens, whatever. But if that's your schedule, you fucked up, man. You need to adjust that shit.
I'll tell you this right now. If I got to shit and I got to go somewhere, if I have showered and then I get out the door and I'm like, I got to shit, guess what? I'm late to wherever I'm going because I'm about to shower again.
Well, you're not going to waste the whole shower being all shitty. That's the problem. Because now you might as well not even have taken a shower. You might as well go roll around on the ground with the dog at that point. It's a mess.
Even go wherever I'm going.
You know what? Everybody, if you have to shit, just stay home. Everyone will understand. If we all had that as a societal, that we would all understand.
Absolutely.
If someone just went, sorry, I was about to come over, I really had to shit, and then the whole thing, I'd have to take another shower, and they go, I totally get it.
Yeah.
I'll catch you next time. Yeah. It's a universal excuse. So,
let you know the next time there's a Super Bowl.
Oh, I'll tell you.
Stay home.
I'll tell you all about it. So, well,
I don't want you sitting on my couch.
Tell me what box you want and how much you're going to bet, and we'll fucking figure it out. Oh, Christ. So, this former policeman, he's walking through the woods.
Bob Schubert?
Bert Schubert.
Bert Schubert. Okay.
Bert,
just making sure we're on
board.
board.
That's Bert Schubert, goddammit. He's walking through the woods between 10 and 11 a.m. So it's a mid-morning walk for a retired policeman or fired policeman. We're not sure of his pedigree, but whatever. He's walking, just strolling, and he ends up coming across something that he didn't expect to see. And that is a partially frozen body in a shallow grave of what he appears to be in the Cape May courthouse section of town. It's which is kind of like the center of town, off to the east a little bit. He's freaked out. He seems to be a female, but it's also something has happened to this body besides regular decomposition. There's the color is not of a human. Of a human color, it's like a jet black, which is very strange in a weird way. No, but not burn. That's the other thing. No hair on the head, but appears to be a female also, which it's fine. But in 1980, that's uncommon to find a shaven-headed female, especially a young female, because it doesn't appear to be an old woman. So it's very much a mystery at this point. So he obviously calls the police, and they're like, "It's Bert again." They're like, "You find another one, Bert? Jesus Christ. You didn't find it in your garage again, did you, Bert? You know we had to fire you for that the first time."
Somebody tell the captain, old Schubert's back on the phone. Shuby's got some questions.
Old Schubert. That's what it said on his desk in his little nameplate. Just old Schubert. Old Schubert. How you doing? Old Schubert here. They're like, "Can you refer to yourself properly as Officer Schubert, please?" That's why he got fired. He's just old Shuby. Wouldn't wear his uniform. Just wore his regular clothes with his sheriff badge on the breast. Just no problem. And they're like, "You have to wear a fucking uniform, dude." He's like, "Why? They know I'm the sheriff.
He makes
they get
a phone call. He's like, old Schubert to headquarters."
Old Shuby to headquarters.
"This is the phone, sir."
What are you talking about? Bert, is that you? Can you call me old Schubert, please?
Old Schubert, you called the switchboard.
It makes me feel exciting.
You don't have a radio anymore.
Well, he did call, and he reported this body, and they come to check it out, and they believe they're automatically there's a missing woman in the area that has not been seen in about a month, and so the clothing that this body has around them and was wearing is vaguely matching the clothing that this woman had. It's about the same size, so they're thinking in this area, this is probably who they believe is 29-year-old Josephine Trombetta. So they believe it's Josephine because she's been missing for a month from this entire area. This is 250 yards to the east of Stagecoach Road into the woods in this area. I don't know anything about Stagecoach Road, but there it is. It's about a half a mile from Shell Bay Road, it says here in an old article I found. He called the Middle Township police. They contacted the prosecutor's office to say, "Oh, this might be the person we're looking for, and I'll tell you why, because they already had people in custody, even though they didn't have a body or know what the hell happened to this woman, and we'll tell you how that all came down in a minute.
They just got some nudniks, and they're like, y'all probably killed somebody.
We'll find out. This is an onion, boy. It keeps peeling, and it keeps stinking. It is a fucked up story. So, Old Shuby here. Old Shuby calls the police. Now, the police right away, they don't dig this body up. It's in a shallow grave. They right away rope off the area leading to it. They rope off the dirt road. They shut down the whole area as a crime scene, obviously. And they wait until about 7 p.m. That night to actually excavate the body. They wait till the state medical examiner, who's Dr. Robert Good, is helicoptered into the scene to supervise the excavation, because they don't want it fucked up.
Yeah.
They do not want anything messed up. They don't want physical evidence tampered with. They want to have a strong case.
This is January.
It's freezing. It's freezing out. That's why the body's frozen.
Night?
The body's frozen. Right. So it's dark in January at about 4:30 in New Jersey. Yeah. So I'm not shitting. That's about when it's dark. So
it is cold and dark.
It's cold.
And they're about
it's
to
dark,
dig up a body.
And they're going to dig up a body at 7 p.m.
Jesus.
So you're helicoptering, and it's been dark for 3 hours. Yeah. Also, there's been guys out there guarding it all day since 11 o'clock in the morning. You've had to guard a fucking shallow grave. How'd you like that to be your assignment? No. Johnson. Yes, sir. See that shallow grave with that corpse over there? Yes, sir. Stand next to it. How long? I don't know, 8 hours or so?
Until you hear the whirly-bird.
When you hear the helicopter coming, that's when, well, you can't leave. But when that guy's done and when he leaves, then ask me, and then maybe in a few hours you can leave. But you're going to get some overtime today.
Is this why old Shuby retired? Is this what it was?
I think old Shuby hung out there anyway. And he's like, no, I got this. They're like, no, we don't need you. Bert, that's not your job. We don't need you to guard it.
Fuck out of there, Bert.
He's like,
don't touch anything, Bert.
I'm doing it. I'm going to guard. They're like, we prefer you didn't, Bert. We just prefer you didn't. I'm sorry. Right. I'm volunteering. That's what makes this so difficult. It's a Kramer on Seinfeld. I don't even really work here. That's what makes this so difficult. So he gets there. They excavate the body very, very carefully with little tiny shovels and brushes, and they do like it's archaeology, exactly. Like they're getting a Tyrannosaurus Rex bone out of the ground. Too. Yeah, I'm glad they did that. They didn't just be like, just get a bulldozer and yank them out.
Somebody throw a toe chain around the neck.
If a foot falls off, we'll pick it up later. We'll sift through it later. Don't worry about it. But just get as much as you can.
Yeah.
By the way, now you know that. Don't say we're making fun of the South with this accent, because we're making fun of New Jersey guineas with this accent, because this is just the idiot accent. Yeah. It has nothing to do with your region. It's just panhandle accent. Right. It's not even a real accent. Nobody really talks. People have a Southern accent, but we kind of put a thing on it where nobody really talks like that. It's a totally different. I'm stupid and I'm enjoying it. I like being this is fun.
It's essentially my inner monologue voice.
It's Jimmy's inner child is what it is. Jimmy's inner trailer trash child.
That's the guy I talk to all day.
Nice. Jesus Christ. So police say they're going to make a full autopsy. They take it to Burdett Tomlin Memorial Hospital and to the morgue there, and they're going to do a full autopsy the next day once the body's thawed, so they can cut into it more easily and
toss that in the microwave.
Figure out what the hell's going on. Oh, you're going to have to zap that up a little. I think you put it on the chicken setting. Defrost chicken, and I think it'll come out perfect. I'm not sure. Don't take my word on that.
If you
color. If there's any coroners out there listening, we know actually we have like some people who listen from morgues and shit. That's not how you do that. That's not proper procedure.
They have fillings. That'll spark.
Oh, it'll do all sorts of stuff. Consult whatever manual you have. I feel like you're going to get a manual.
Probably a handbook.
How to make a body that's dead be
not frozen
anymore. I don't know how that works. How to defrost a body, but that sounds like you're doing it to cook it. I don't like that one. So there's got to be a way to, Anyway, so they say
soft again.
To make it soft again. They believe it's Trombetta, though, Josephine Trombetta, based on the clothing. Again, they say they're, quote, almost positive that it is Josephine Trombetta. She is 29 years old. She graduated in 1970 from Millville Senior High School. She lives in South Dennis, and she has been missing since December 4th.
Jesus.
So they've been looking for her for over a month, all through the holidays. I mean, that's crazy. She was said to have gone to and I am going to use this in the loosest way possible. Okay. Quote unquote, just as loose as you can possibly make it. I mean, I can't quote unquote it enough. Party that she went to. This is not a party of any stretch of the imagination, but it is continually called a party because that's what she thought she was doing, was going to a party. And this was, I guess, a party.
It was a celebration?
It's a party in a Phillips, Oklahoma kind of way.
Oh, boy.
It's sort of a party. She had disappeared. Yeah. She was last heard of going to this party and then disappeared December 4th, never seen again, and was suspected, based on certain things we'll talk about, was suspected to at least be the victim of a possible sexual assault and maybe more. But if it was only that, we'll just say that. Okay. They searched for the body all around, primarily centered on Middle Township since the week before. They were searching all around, but they didn't know if maybe she just took off with somebody or something like that.
She's 29.
She's 29, who knows? But since the week before this, they've really, really started searching hard because they believed she was dead after that, which is what one of the police captains says here. He says, quote, "We had the feeling that when she was found, she would be dead. In fact, we began searching an area near her where her body was found last Friday in an attempt to locate her body." So they've been searching. They kind of had the right area. Yeah. I think I dropped my keys over here, and you did. It's just by the bush, and you didn't see it. But why were they suspicious all of a sudden that she was dead?
Yeah.
That's the question.
It's a lingering question.
It's a lingering question. There's good reason for it. We'll just say that. Mid-December 1980, right about a week and a half before Christmas, 2 people were arrested attempting to sell Josephine Trombetta's car for $1,000. Okay. It was worth more than $1,000 too. Right. So they were trying to just offload this somebody else's car that they didn't have the title for or anything like that. Well, they did, but we'll talk about how they got it and everything else. But these 2 people that are arrested here, this is crazy. Leroy W. Camp is the first guy who gets arrested. He's 30 years old at the time. Him and his stepdaughter are arrested, by the way, together for trying to sell this car. And we'll talk about her in a minute.
How old's Leroy?
Janice Ann Nealis is her name. She's 19. He is 30 years old. He is her stepfather.
His stepdaughter's 11 years younger.
His stepdaughter's 11 years younger, and the mother is 37 at this point.
Okay.
So the mother had the kids early, as we'll talk about, because there's another son involved in this.
I can't imagine having a 19-year-old right now.
Oh well, I have a 17-year-old. So,
but you're 40 though.
Yeah. Still,
I'm 37. I'm thinking about being her age. Well, I guess you're
it's the same exact thing. I feel it's exactly the same. What difference is there between us? We have the same exact everything too. We have the same reference points. We're
same reference points, same body.
We are the same generation. Yeah. We're 3 years, might as well be 5 minutes. It doesn't matter. So. That's suspicious though. When someone's trying to sell a car for less than it's worth when the person's missing, and under suspicious circumstances too. The people they end up arresting, like we said, Leroy W. Camp, whose nickname is, and this is a small town murder classic here. This is going to right away.
So hard to think of one before you hit it.
His nickname is the Rodent.
The Rodent.
Rodent, they call him. Okay. That's his main nickname, Rodent. Okay.
That's clever, though, that they went further than the rat or the mouse or whatever.
It's true, Rodent. It could have been the vermin, but I think that's very vague. They wanted to go with the Rodent. Leroy Rodent Camp here. The Rodent, he's a former vice president of the South Jersey chapter of the Warlocks. Whatever the fuck that is, I assume. Now, I looked it up and I couldn't tell. There's groups of dudes who like Wicca people, but more, not like Wicca. Don't fucking tweet me about Wicca. I get it. But there's warlock people who say they're warlocks and shit. So I don't know if it's that or if that's a club of some kind.
There's also a biker gang of warlocks.
Well, that's what I'm thinking it is, because he was also the president of the at this point defunct Icon Motorcycle Club of Rio Grande, New Jersey.
All right.
So I feel like he's a biker gang guy. 30-year-old biker gang president, vice president named Roden. So he's a good dude right away. Yeah, so in 1980 too. So this isn't like, yeah, it's a different time period here.
Like now there's biker gangs that they're full of yuppies wearing like a Tommy
total,
Bahama shirt with a leather vest on.
Super
Fuck you,
horseshit.
dude.
No,
I'm not scared of you.
This guy was like, what are those pills? Give me a handful. Like, I don't care. Just stuff them in his mouth. Like, that's a different...
See what these feel like.
This is Hunter Thompson wrote a book about us. A different thing completely, totally. So this is the guy who gets arrested. So now you're even more suspicious if he's the one selling this thing. You're like, what the fuck is going... Him and his stepdaughter, which is another strange twist to this whole deal.
They're very close.
They're very close. Very, very close. But they end up, through this arrest, they end up arresting 4 more people, most of which are in the family. Okay, let's talk about who they are. There is also Frances J. Camp, who is Leroy's wife, who is Janice Ann Nealis' mother.
Right.
She's 37 years old.
Yep.
Also involved in this is Curtis Smith. He is Frances J. Camp's 20-year-old son, Leroy's stepson, Janice Ann Nealis' sister. So they're that family, the 4. Now, there's also Alberta Westcott, who is a family friend who's just hanging out, some girl who's 24 years old, and Jack A. Gaskill, who is Frances Camp's brother, who's 31 years old. So that's Curtis and Janice Ann Nealis' uncle.
Got it.
Okay, so this is the family. All of these people are arrested at once. Now, there's one more too who gets arrested, but she ends up she's not involved in the main deal of this.
Got it.
So she's not important until she comes up. But at this point, 6 people are arrested in mid-December. This is well before the body's found. Okay. 6 people are arrested in connections with the disappearance, but they weren't charged with murder or anything like that. They didn't know what to charge them with, so they were trying to charge them with something based on the car, stolen property, some shit like that, basically. And they also were, they ended up ultimately deciding to book them on sexual assault charges, before they ever found Josephine's body.
Of Josephine.
Of Josephine, yeah. And she was last seen leaving the home of one of them. So that's why. So they were all charged with aggravated assault, aggravated sexual assault, even though they had no idea where the hell the body was or if she was still alive or dead or what. But they assumed that happened, and we'll figure out why that is in a minute, which right away, this whole thing is fucking...
How does all those people get arrested?
How does your mom and your stepdad and your...
we all rape together? This is crazy.
Thing is, that's what I mean. We're going to find out exactly. It's worse than that. That's the thing. It's worse because it's sort of that plus more. It's not... I can't even... I got to get into it.
I'm going to let you tell the story.
The police here, Paul Pitts, who's a spokesman for the Cape County Prosecutor's Office, he said that the charges, this is before they found the body, quote, the charges stem from an incident that occurred December 4th at Gaskill's house. That's Jack Gaskill, 31-year-old uncle of the 2 younger ones / brother-in-law of the Camps. Okay. At that time, Josephine Trombetta was allegedly physically abused by those persons now charged. Now, after they find the body, now they know what the fuck happened to Josephine as far as she's dead, and she's not dead. She didn't just die of exposure out there and crawl into a shallow grave.
Death, right.
No. There's a lot wrong with her, boy. I mean, she is, there's been some trauma. Bail was increased for the 3 men to $250,000 each in 1980, which
after they found the body.
After they found the body. And they're also charged with murder and kidnapping, and also $75,000 each for bail for the 3 women charged with just kidnapping.
Got it.
So there's all of that. Now there's a 7th suspect here. This is Catherine J. Smith, 27 years old. She's charged with aggravated sexual assault and aggravated assault, but was released after posting $1,000 bail. The evidence indicates that she did not participate in anything other than drawing this person in. She wasn't an active participant, we'll say. So her story is kind of going to end there. She does this. She ends up taking a plea for way less than everybody else ends up even being charged for. And
I wish people would stop doing that.
What, kidnapping people and sexually assaulting them?
Well, I mean, apart from that, stop being the...
No, I let them do that. I have another issue.
My point is, stop being the dick that just, I'll tell them to come over, but I'm leaving.
Yeah, well, that's
Fuck you.
Yeah.
You're just as guilty.
Well, they were.
Dick.
She was yeah. Anybody who was anywhere near this fucking house and didn't run screaming from it to get help is an asshole, and it deserves anything that the court system throws at him because this is fucking horrific. So these people are in custody now. This whole cabal of family. Now you got to be thinking, what the fuck did a mom and a stepdad and two kids and a family friend and an uncle and some other lady that got released on bail?
I'm picturing the Drapes from Crybaby.
I'm picturing this is like a Nothing But Trouble scenario, like a Nothing But Trouble house, but
it's very similar.
It's super fucking weird. So according to Gaskill, Jack Gaskill, that Josephine Trombetta, she had been in a relationship with Curtis Smith, the 20-year-old Curtis Smith. Yeah. So they had been in a relationship on and off for a while. Nothing serious, just an on and off thing. She's 29, he's 20. They're both kind of fucking around.
Got it.
Not a big deal. But apparently, according to Gaskill, Josephine was, as he put it, quote, spreading it around that Kurt Smith had her pregnant. Not got her pregnant, had her pregnant, which is a real hillbilly way to fucking say got her pregnant. Spreading it around that Kurt Smith done had her pregnant, and he just dropped done probably out of his syntax very recently, I would say. Was spreading it around that Kurt Smith done had her pregnant. So had her pregnant, and apparently they had a gathering that night. This is what the party was, quote unquote, loose quotes, was to get Josephine over there and he said, quote, to straighten it out. Okay. So there is vague things floating around that she may have told someone that this Kurt Smith, 20 years old, possibly impregnated her.
Had her pregnant.
Had her all sorts of pregnant. And in this area, this is being spread around like wildfire, apparently, and it's fodder for... Who cares, first of all? Especially if you don't think you did get her pregnant. Be like, well, they'll find out pretty soon that I didn't.
Within the next 9 months.
It's going to be... Or if it's somebody else's, I'll say it's not mine, and we'll work it out. But, I mean, whatever. Rumors are rumors. But instead...
Where I come from, had her pregnant is when you fuck a pregnant girl.
Yeah, I had her pregnant. I had her not pregnant. I had her upside down. I had her in the car. I had her out on the grass. So he had her pregnant. So this is so fucked up. So instead, he says, I'm going to get my whole family together to straighten it out, which is weird. So Gaskill, because this is at Gaskill's house, Jack Gaskill. Okay, it's at his place. Gaskill apparently had Curtis Smith, and Josephine. All three of them were at Gaskill's apartment there. Whenever it's kind of iffy whether Kurt Smith lives with Gaskill also in this apartment or not. It's kind of like, he sometimes stays here. He's not real settled. He's 22, so who knows? He's bouncing from people's futons.
He's got time.
He's got time to figure it out. Yeah. Well, he doesn't. Well, spoiler alert, he doesn't figure it out. Put it that way. Well, he figures something out, but not the way to get a life together. Yeah. So apparently they're all drinking together in the apartment. Well, first it's Gaskill and Kurt Smith are hanging out drinking, and they get Josephine Trombetta over there. She comes over to hang out, and she starts drinking also with them, and it's a lighthearted social affair. It starts out at Then other people come over, Leroy and Frances Camp, which is Kurt's mom and Kurt's stepdad, and Ann Nealis, like we said, the stepsister, and Alberta Westcott, the family friend. They arrive after the three of them, Gaskill, Kurt Smith, and Trombetta are all already hanging out drinking. Okay. So it just seems like a family party sort of thing. They're hanging out drinking. The rest of the crew comes over. 7 people all together in the room. Well, there's 8, but that one girl, like we said, comes and goes.
Right. And now back to the show.
Anyway, so apparently at some point when the entire group is assembled, it's some sort of fucking weird, creepy family Voltron. Yeah. Once they're all assembled, they decide to confront Josephine about her rumor spreading. Yeah. They said, you said Kurt had you pregnant, didn't you? And she says, no, and I didn't. And they say, you're a liar. And she says, no, I'm not. And they go back and forth and have a big argument. And she, like a sane person, Josephine, says, you people are out of your fucking mind. Have a good one. Yeah. I'm taking off. Okay. See ya. She starts to head for the door. It's at that point that they do not let her leave. It's at this point where it turns into a Bronx Tale, and they close the door and they say, now you just can't leave. Yeah. Now she's stuck in there. And this is when I've never heard of a family, number one. First of all, for any single male person to do this, I'd be like, what a fucking psychopath. But for a family of people to do this, including a mother, it's I don't even know what the fuck to say about this, but let's get into this. On the edge of the seat. Okay. This is, everybody buckle up here. Okay. So they take her, they hold her against her will. Okay. Right away. They tell her that she can't leave. They make her sit down. Jesus Christ. Okay. They force her to remove all of her clothes. First of all. Okay. Now this is also because he was pissed off. Curtis was pissed off about this rumor spread. Right. This is the motivation. That's for this. That's the catalyst of this. Curtis is pissed off, and the whole family's pissed for him. Okay. That's why this is happening. That's why a 29-year-old woman has already been kidnapped and now held against her will, and is now nude. Okay. I assume also against her will. Right. If she didn't want to be there, I can't imagine she wants to be there nude. Anywhere you don't want to be, you especially want clothes on if you're going to have to be there.
It's very rare when you're like, I'm leaving. They're like, nope, and you're getting nude. You're like, now I'm partying.
Now we're talking. Now
this is a party.
The only time that happens is if you were like out with a woman. Right. And you'd be like, well, I'm taking off. And she'd be like, no, stay and get nude. And you'd be like, all right.
Well, that's never what I was waiting on.
The night has taken a turn. I guess I'm staying.
I was clothed, and that's why I was leaving.
That's why I was leaving.
And now I'm not, so now I'll stay.
I guess I'll stay if that's your request. But instead, this is not requested. This is forced. This poor woman. At that point, they force her. They hit her. They kick her. They generally rough her up a little bit, but that's nothing. Then it's some psychological torture, some physical torture. They force her to sign over the title of her car to them, which is why they were then trying to sell it later. So at this point, they're all in. They're like, fuck this. Not only are we mad at you for doing this, and we're going to hit and kick you or whatever, or embarrass you in some crazy, sick, perverted, disgusting, criminal way, but now we're also going to now start like, that's crazy to force a nude kidnapped person to sign over the title to their car is next level fucking crazy.
And that's the difference between now and 1980 also, is that like, if somebody was like, sign your title over to me, I'd be like, I got to pay the lien off first.
Yeah, first of all, you have no idea what I owe on this. You want it? You really want that on your credit? Cool.
6 to 8 weeks before they get that sent over.
It's fucking rock and roll. Because my payments, they're too high, if I'm being honest. You want to know what the insurance is on that fucking? Because I'm going to cancel is this you now? Because I'll cancel that shit tomorrow. I don't need this payment.
Though, let's say it's paid off and you have the title. That's in like a lockbox or up in the top shelf of my closet.
This was in her.
Tucked away. She keeps the title to her car in her fucking glove box.
It used to be, back in the day, they used to have to where you could sign it over on the back of the registration. Yeah. Remember that?
So on the registration. Okay.
Remember that used to be a thing where you could do that. I know in New York it was a thing where it would be like a temporary, like that's how you would sign your car over. Would be so that's kind of the way it would work. Okay. So it was the registration. There was some piece of something I remember where the back. I remember my dad selling a car.
Well, the title is like that.
It might have been the title. Whatever the fuck it was, a piece of paper from the glove, apparently in the glove compartment. Yeah. So they force her to do that. They then hit her some more. They then, Jesus Christ, they shave her head at this point, which is okay. They shave her head. They spray paint her body from head to toe with black spray paint. So they forced her to strip, sign over her car, shave her head, and now they have.
I just put it together. That's how that she got all black in that hole.
That's how she got black in the hole. Yeah, she was spray painted black from head to toe, complete total body.
What a weird thing to do.
Yeah, well, that's you haven't heard anything yet. Okay. It gets not only weird but just fucking sadistic. They beat her some more, obviously, punch her a little bit, knock her around, kick her. This is fucking sick. They make her dunk her breasts in boiling water to hurt her. Also, to some sort of physical torment now that they've psychologically tormented her and beat her and everything else. And at that point, by the way, while this is going on, 2 different times in between all these activities, they have, Jesus Christ, they have forced her twice to perform oral sex on the dog.
What?
Twice. During this.
Yeah.
This twice.
No.
They were doing all this, and they're like, let's have her blow the dog again.
This is like a really bad porn. Like,
no.
Now bring the dog in.
Yeah, bring the dog in.
Bring the dog in again.
This has happened to a human being.
This is horrific.
This is like a bunch of people just with like bad ideas. Like this is like Wile E. Coyote fucking got mad because somebody said that he knocked her up.
But how do you make
So
her
he got
do
him
it
in and was
twice?
doing Acme fucking stunt torture to her. This is ridiculous. What 12-year-old mind thinks of this? What kind of... This person's mother was there.
Yeah.
Curtis's mother was there.
Yeah.
His mother was like, make her blow the dog, then spray paint her. That'll teach her. Like, what the fuck is happening here?
Or if Curtis had the idea first and she's like, that's my boy.
I don't mean to put the onus on the mother or put him on the women, but
that's
Jesus
bizarre.
Christ, that's just bizarre that somebody's mother would be okay with their son doing that to any woman. You think that... I don't even know. I don't know what the fuck. Apparently, Leroy was the main instigator in all this, is from what everybody says. He's the main instigator. But after all this takes place over 6 hours.
Oh, Jesus.
This isn't fast.
No.
This is a 6-hour process. This is them fucking with her, deciding what to do with this person on an hour-by-hour basis, and her, I'm sure, scared shitless about this whole thing and being just tortured to the whims of a bunch of lunatics.
Yeah.
This is crazy.
It's escalating in level of mutilation and pain of boiling water.
Yeah. That's crazy. It goes from humiliation to actual pain, and then
pain.
And beatings also along the way during the whole thing. The physical, Jesus Christ. They asked Gaskill if anyone hit her so hard that she started to bleed, and he stated that Curtis Smith, quote, got up and just started swinging wild and hit her inside the head, and some blood trickled out the side of her head.
He tried to say upside,
and he said inside the head. Shit. Yeah, he said hit her up inside the head, or hit her inside the head. So apparently Curtis Smith, the one who's been so wronged. I mean, good Lord, honestly,
how dare her have sex with somebody else?
No, not only that, how she didn't even have sex with somebody else. Right. How dare her maybe tell someone mistakenly that he possibly impregnated her when I'm sure they were having unprotected sex. Right. So, God, I'm sure, you know what could have happened? She could have been a week late on her period. Yeah. She could have told her friend.
She may have been panicked.
I'm scared, I'm a week late. And she said, holy shit, do you know who, whatever? It's Curtis. I've been with Curtis, blah, blah, blah. And she's like, okay. And then she told her friend, hey, Curtis fucking knocked up Josephine. And next thing you know, in a small town, Curtis knocked up Josephine, and you're getting your head shaved and you're blowing a dog. This is fucking insane.
With Krylon all
just
over you.
Talk to people, and what the fuck, man? This is nuts. So apparently Curtis did that. He was the one who was really beating her pretty badly. Gaskill also described more blood. They would have to attempt to stop the bleeding because they cut her open. They attempted to stop the bleeding with a towel. Apparently, after 6 hours of abuse, and this is the worst. I mean, Jesus, I don't know. This could be worse than Rouleau. I think this is bad, man.
There wasn't much dog blowing in Rouleau, was there? I mean, there was goat raping.
There was no. Yeah, that's true. But this is bad, man.
Pretty brutal.
This is fucking somehow worse because it's not on a farm. It's
like so many more people.
And it's his mother. I don't know. I just feel like your mother should yell at you for disrespect. Like if I came up with the idea to do anything near this in front of my mother or my grandmother, they would beat the shit out of me for this. When they said, "What the hell is wrong with you? Be nice to women? Are you crazy? There's no way."
If I sprayed spray paint near a woman, my mom would be like, "You could get it in her eye."
Oh, forget it. It would be over. It would be over. What is wrong with you? So after 6 hours of abuse, they pick her up, dust her off. She's still covered in spray paint, has a shaved head. She's burned. She's beaten. She's lumped. She's got cuts on her head. She's bleeding. They dress her. They help her get dressed because she needed help because she was in such pain from being beat on. They help her put her clothes on, and they tell her, we're going to take you to the bus station now. So this is how she's going to ride the bus. Apparently, they're going to put her on a bus. Is that the plan? Curtis was so embarrassed. They're going to beat her up real bad and put her on a bus to God knows where, and that'll teach her.
Right.
Like, I don't know what she thought. I don't know. But instead, Gaskill. Now they leave the women behind at the apartment. Gaskill, Leroy Camp, the stepfather, and Curtis Smith. They all take Josephine in Camp's mother's, in Curtis's mother's car.
Okay.
So they take him in the mother's car, and they say they're driving out to the bus station. Right. Instead, they take her off the road to a dirt road in some backwoods near a gravel pit. And Gaskill, of course, to the police, he says, "No, I don't know I fell asleep along the way." Of course, because isn't it funny how all these stories, like they always just fall asleep in the middle of this horrific thing that they're doing.
So they got to detach themselves from the horrible part.
Yeah, well, they have to tell the police, look, I mean, I didn't do the bad part, obviously, but I was there enough to tell you that, because I was there and I'm trying to get away with it. So he said he fell asleep along the way, so he didn't recall exactly where they stopped, but he did admit that shovels were put in the car before they left the house. So if you're putting shovels in the car, you're probably not going to the bus station. No. We'll put it that way. He said, quote, it was not mentioned. Nobody mentioned it, but he had an idea that they were possibly going to kill her. By, the fact that they've gone too far to turn back and they put shovels in the car. Right. So only fucking genius to deduce that. Good job, Gaskill. You are a sharp. Don't let anybody ever tell you that this family's inbred of any kind. They're very sharp. They stop the car. Gaskill says that Curtis Smith and Leroy Camp took Josephine out into the woods and out of his sight, obviously.
Right.
He said that when they returned to the car without her sometime later, Gaskill was told to help them dig a hole. Which is a bad sign.
Well,
again,
we got to get down to the bus stop.
Yeah, we're going to the bus stop. So what I like to do before I take anyone to, like, if someone needs a ride to the airport, I stop and dig a hole along the way. I mean, it's good luck and safe travels. I feel like it's just a weird superstition I have. Maybe it's an Italian thing. I don't know.
It's a shortcut to the terminal.
It's a shortcut.
You bypass all security.
We're going to go underneath. Shit. Yeah, we can put you right out by the stairs of the plane. There, you pop right up. So instead, Gaskill's told to dig a hole, help dig a hole. He described them saying they said they were digging what he believed to be a, quote, grave hole, which is yes.
I would say left hole out of that.
Just a grave. That's what I mean. A grave hole. This guy, I love the way this Gaskill speaks. Like, you can tell he's a fucking moron by the way he speaks. I pictured 100% Sling Blade Billy Bob Thornton here. Just he said they were going to dig a grave hole. We going to dig a grave hole. Mm-hmm.
Goddamn hole.
Goddamn grave hole. A hole or a grave. One of the two.
Two words that are the same thing.
Either one of them. If there's a corpse and you're going to dig a grave or a hole, we understand what's going to happen.
We know what's going in it.
We done dug us a grave hole because he had her pregnant. So Gaskill said, quote, she was bleeding. She looked pretty bad. Mm-hmm. This is when he went back there. By the way, when they went back to dig the hole, she was still alive. She was in the woods, but still alive when they went to dig the hole. We'll find out what happened here.
Did she watch him dig it?
Oh, we'll find out. Don't worry. They stopped outside to discuss what to do with her, and Leroy was the one that said, quote, we can't let her go. At this point. Yeah. So, and then Gaskill told the police, quote, when Leroy said that, Gaskill said, quote, I didn't answer. I had an idea what he meant, that he wanted to kill her.
An idea. I
figured, we couldn't let her go. Maybe we was going to pay her to be an on-site, like a nanny type.
Hang on to her forever.
You ever seen Mr. Belvedere? Right. Kind of like that. Just live in the house and cook and clean and kind of take care of whoever comes by.
On her ball bag all the time.
Just make us a better family. All together, sitting on his balls. So Gaskill said he returned to the car and described, he said he heard but didn't see Camp and Smith dragging what he believed to be the victim's body into the hole. On the way home, no mention was made of the killing, Gaskill says, except that Curtis Smith said, quote, "I know that she won't ever fuck me over again." And then Camp yelled at him to, quote, "Shut up and forget about it."
Yeah.
So... Stop talking about it. I feel like Camp's done this before.
Yeah.
I feel like this is not new territory for him.
There's too much torture and actual plotted murder.
And then, we got to get rid of her. Shovels in the car, and then you're talking about it, and he goes, "Just shut up and forget about it." That's what you do when you kill somebody.
That's how cold individuals just fucking get on with their life.
That's what I'm saying, man. So, also, January 5th, 81, when Gaskill talks further, he describes a conversation he had with Curtis Smith that took place the next night after the killing on December 5th, where Curtis Smith told Gaskill that Curtis Smith had blood all over his pants, and he was mad because he guessed he was going to have to throw them out now. Like, I guess these fucking pants are ruined. Fucking blood all over them.
Now I got to go buy a pair because that's all bullshit. I've got.
I had one pair of pants. My murder pants are all bloody now. He said that at that time that Curtis Smith told Gaskill that Curtis had to, quote, "cut her throat."
Is that how they did it?
If only that was how they did it. Boy. You know what, man? If only that was how they did it, that would be great. But that would be way better than how the fuck they did it, which is even worse. We'll get to it. We're giving a little bit of time here. So the next day, they took Gaskill to a psychologist. This is 1980, remember, and used hypnosis to attempt to obtain a clearer account of where the body was buried. Because he said, "I fell asleep. I don't know where we pulled up. In the woods, it was dark. Beats the shit out of me." So, which, honestly, even if he did doze off, it makes sense. And for 6 hours, it was the middle of the night. Who knows?
Right. Even if he didn't doze off,
he still might not know exactly where.
Your headlights only shine so far.
That's it. And if you're going in the woods somewhere, who knows? Now, under hypnosis, he repeated pretty much the same account of what happened, but a much shorter version and with additional descriptions taken of the route that they went and the location of the murder and the grave. They were subsequently, that's how they zoned in on that area that they were searching, and they were right, but they just didn't get that close. Old Bertie Shoobs found it first. By the way, autopsy reveals that she wasn't even pregnant. She's not even pregnant.
Way to go, Dex.
Thanks. Good job, assholes.
Good work.
Not even pregnant.
An EPT could have solved this for you.
They didn't even think of that. They're making her do all that shit. They could have had her pee on a fucking stick, maybe, or that might have been something. But nope. Not even fucking pregnant. Krylon
and blowing a dog came to your mind before an EPT, you fucking idiots.
Yep. Unreal, man. So we'll find out exactly what the final moments were here, because Curtis Smith is finally going to crack on that and talk about it. So all 6 people are indicted on multiple counts related to sexual assault, kidnapping, robbery, and murder. The men are all charged with murder. The rest of the women are charged with everything else, minus murder. Now, prior to Leroy Camp's trial, all the defendants moved to suppress the Gaskill statement that was made under hypnosis, the motion was denied because they said that what he said under hypnosis matched what his original statement was. So there's no harm, no foul.
Doesn't matter anyway.
Yeah, he was just reiterating it. But they're saying it doesn't matter. He said it, blah, blah, blah. So whatever. The only thing of extra information they got was a little bit of more information of where the body was possibly buried, which has nothing to do with the substance of the case.
But the point is, I mean, if he says the same goddamn thing when he's sober versus when he's drunk, it's the right story.
He didn't say it was all me when he was not under hypnosis. And under hypnosis, he's like, let me tell you how everybody killed him. And then they charge everybody. So Camp is put on trial for murder, kidnapping, sexual assault, and a host of other fun shit, obviously. After a 6-week trial, Camp is found guilty of murder and multiple other shit, obviously. Now, what comes out in court, because Leroy Camp ends up, for a sentencing thing, he ends up giving a little plea.
Sure.
So Leroy, he says, Gaskill, Kurt Smith, and Leroy Camp drove Trombetta to a wooded area near Cape May County, village of Goshen in Middle Township, and they killed her. Listen to what they fucking did. They brought her back there. They buried her alive. Okay. They buried her alive. This is fucking insane. buried her alive. They had stabbed her a couple times, not dead by any stretch of the imagination, buried her alive, went back out, got dipshit Gaskell there and said, hey, let's dig a hole here. Right. Went back, dug a better hole, dug her back up.
Oh, my God.
Dug her back up, still alive.
Oh, no.
Still alive. Stabbed her, cut her throat, then reburied her.
What the fuck?
Yeah, they buried this fucking poor woman alive anyway. Twice. She was dying, and then fucking after all that torture and stabs, she's dying, and then, like I said, they finally slashed her throat and reburied her.
For a woman that's not pregnant, and you're doing this because she's pregnant.
Literally nothing.
Nothing.
She literally, I mean, nothing she could do outside of if she stole your baby from your arms and fucking spiked it on the ground and, fucked its head or something. Right. That would be the only, and even then, this is like, what kind of a sick mind does this?
Right.
Like, just.
Even then, you're like, I don't want to fuck with that person because they'll do that to that baby.
They're
what
crazy.
Will they do to me?
What, this is nothing could cause. They did this for nothing. Now, during sentencing, this judge, as you can imagine, did not really like these people very much. He was a little bit pissed off at this Leroy Camp, especially. Leroy Camp, by the way, was on parole already.
Really?
Oh, he's a fucking president of. He's a known local scumbag who's already been on parole, and now he's the ringleader of this mess. Brought us, and he sees it. The judge sees it as you brought all this shit. Yeah. You forced this on everybody. The judge says, "Quote." Camp deserves nothing more or less than the mercy he showed Josephine Trombetta. He is a public menace. He should be detained for the rest of his life because these evil deeds require nothing less, which, I would fucking say so. First degree murder, all this shit. He says, you, sir, may certainly fuck off, life in prison, with 50 years before parole, 52 years before parole eligibility.
And he's 37, 30?
He's 30, 30 he was.
So in his 80s.
So minimum, which is, he's not, it's 2033, I think, is when he's up for parole.
He's got some time.
He's got some time in there still. It's first degree murder. It's life in prison, 25 years of parole ineligibility. First degree kidnapping is 20 years, 10 years parole ineligibility, so you can start adding them up. Yep. First degree aggravated sexual assault, 20 years, 10 years parole ineligibility. Yep. Second degree robbery, 5 years, 2 years parole for the car, for stealing her Trombetta's car. Yep. Absolutely. Aggravated assault is 10 years, 5 years parole ineligibility. Everything is imposed consecutive.
Oh, damn.
And also they tack on a little more for his parole violation that he was there for begin with. So they fucking bang her good, bang this guy good on this shit, which is good. If anybody fucking deserves it, it's this asshole. Also, at all this time, he's there. After this, the other co-defendants, all 5 of them end up entering guilty pleas. Yeah. Because they see what he got, and the prosecutor's like, you guys want 50 years, no parole? And they're all like, maybe let's talk about it. Let's see. Now,
can we go with 30?
Maybe 30's better. That seems more reasonable.
That's so much time.
It's so much. 50. Imagine 50. Imagine if you're 30 and they go 52 years, no parole. And in 52 years, you don't know if they're going to parole you. Yeah. I just read what happened. If you're a parole board person and you read the person in front of you on his first parole board, that's what he did.
Nope.
I'm not sure. I don't care if he's 102. Never mind 82. I don't think he's getting out. I think I'm going, you know what? That's fucked up, man. You made her blow the dog? Right. Seriously? The rest wasn't enough, you piece of shit?
Manson died in prison. He didn't kill a single soul.
That's what I mean. This guy
participated
fucking hard.
Holy shit.
This guy was like a Nike commercial. Yeah. He was going after it. He doesn't give a shit.
He's following a dream.
Yeah, he's following a dream. He's just doing it. He's like Gatorade. It's pouring out of his... There's orange pouring out of his pores. Evil coming out. Jesus. So the woman defendants did not plead guilty to murder, but they did admit to the assault on them, and they pled guilty. Eventually, Curtis Smith pled guilty to murder, kidnapping, sexual assault, and robbery, and was sentenced to 25 years of no parole. Yeah. So he's fucked too.
Is that 25 to life?
It's life with 25 years minimum. Okay. No parole for 25.
Got it.
May 28th, 81, Alberta Westcott. She pleads guilty to the charges against her. During her court appearance, she told how she said that she had to describe in detail about how they cut her hair and spray painted her and beat her and made her blow the dog and all this type of shit. She's indicted on everything except for murder there, obviously. Now, Curtis, at his plea hearing, Curtis Smith, the guy who this whole bullshit stemmed from, this fucking idiot whose reputation was so sterling that, God forbid, somebody say that he had her pregnant. It's time to fucking pay.
Meanwhile, when your reputation is that sterling, that you're such a great person, right? My point is,
what is he, the pastor? Who cares? He's a 20-year-old kid.
Wouldn't it be great to be that person that somebody's proud to be telling people? When I got Lisa pregnant twice, telling people was the last thing we wanted to do. Yeah. We were not proud of ourselves.
we knew we did wrong.
Right. If she's telling people,
we can't afford this.
I've got a bun in here, and it's Curtis's. I'm not bragging. I'm not ashamed to tell you.
I think I nailed exactly how it probably got spread around. Literally, she probably told 2 people that she's late, and it might be Curtis's, and next thing you know, the whole bar scene knows about it, and that's that. So at Curtis's plea hearing, because he's got to do the same thing. Everybody's got to give the whole allocution. Everybody's got to give long, factual, detailed, and it's all got to match up.
Sure.
Like you pretty much have to go over it ahead of time to make sure that it's correct. Otherwise they'll say, oh, no, that doesn't match up with this person's thing. You actually did this. Right. Get that shit right. He describes his role in the murder as this. He admitted to striking her beforehand in the apartment so hard that she began to bleed in several places. He hit her so hard that he broke his knuckle on her head.
Oh, Jesus.
That's fucking hard. Yeah. I've been in fights and I've punched a lot of shit and I've never broken my fucking knuckle. I've hit a locker. I've hit a wall. I've hit fucking studs. I've hit drywall, not just a handsome man. I've hit faces. I've hit things, and I've never fucking once broken a knuckle. So that's hard.
Like the boxer's fracture? You never gotten that one?
If I didn't fucking do anything about it. If I did, I fucked my hand up good, but I never actually fixed it.
That shit hurts.
Oh, it hurts. It hurts. It'll fuck you
up.
No
matter what you're hitting, it hurts.
It hurts.
But I've never blown up a hand either. I've never broken anything.
He broke a knuckle on this poor woman's head. He said that he had to testify because based on everybody else's, he had no choice. He couldn't make anything up now.
No.
He said that he was the one who killed her. Mm-hmm. He said that he stabbed her the first time, and then he stabbed her the first time and left her there. And he described how when they returned to drag her to her final grave, that she was making gurgling sounds.
Oh, no.
And that he was annoyed by that. Ugh. So he stabbed her and cut her throat 3 times. Just to make sure she shut the fuck up and stopped gurgling and, Jesus, I'm trying to bury you alive. Can you shut the fuck up?
Keep it down.
Good God. I mean, I just got home from work. I'm trying to bury you alive. Right. What a complete piece of shit.
You're running your mouth about being pregnant when you're alive. You won't shut the fuck up when you're dying.
So, lots of compassion from this guy. Just a family full of compassion. I don't know. You go, how can a person be a monster like this? And then you go, well, look, his mother's participating and married this other monster. Right. So I get it. Yeah.
He's 20.
He's 20. This guy is 20 fucking years old. And his 19-year-old fucking sister was there who was like, this is normal.
Here we go.
Yeah. Not, oh my God, Mom, please stop killing a woman. Jesus. So yeah, he was the last of, Kurt Smith was the last of everybody to plead and be charged because he was the main culprit. He pleads guilty to charges of murder, kidnapping, aggravated sexual assault, robbery, aggravated assault, all of those.
He gets the Mount Rushmore.
He gets it all. Murder, rape, robbery, and assault, baby. It's all right there. He said the judge here, and again, this judge is just going off on one because he got to say, you're the biggest piece of shit I ever saw at a camp. And now he says to O'Neill, this is a definite fuck off here, or O'Neill's the guy's name. This is what he says to Kurt Smith. He says, quote, this is the most cruel and depraved crime I've ever been involved with. It seemed almost cult-like. You, sir, Hey, fuck off. Life on life, no parole, 25 years.
Wow.
Get the fuck out of here. Yeah. So no parole. And we'll talk about his parole because think about it, that's 1981.
Oh, good Christ.
So, yeah, that's whenever we do these older cases, we go, ooh, these guys could be out. So we'll talk about that in a minute. Camp appeals. Yeah. Leroy Camp, by the way. He appeals on...
That's some bullshit.
Yeah, that's some bullshit to appeal. Oof, man.
After that?
Yeah, he appealed in February of 1982. Jesus Christ, it's ridiculous. He pursues this in 82 and nothing comes of it. That's just his first appeal and they dismissed that pretty quickly. Also 1993, a federal court dismissed Camp's petition for a writ of habeas corpus. And in 2000, a federal court dismissed a second petition for a writ of habeas corpus. So it took him another 7 years to get another one together.
Good.
And they said, take a fucking hike. But 2007, Leroy Camp appealing again. This time he's got his shit together a little bit. He's got quite the argument here. Mm-hmm. He says he's got several points we'll go over. He says the lower court erred in denying the petition of the first one because it was for ineffective assistance of counsel. He said the trial counsel failed to investigate and call key defense witnesses.
Yeah.
You
admitted what you did, dude.
Not only that, other people in the crime said, yeah, Leroy told me to kill her. Like, what witness is going to be there? Somebody's standing there going, I was there. He was begging him not to do it. Right. And they fucking knocked him down. No, they knocked the head of the biker gang down and said, get away from us, Leroy. You fucking queer. Go on over there. Go on, Leroy.
They screamed down the rodent.
Yeah, no, they didn't scream down the rodent and call him fucking slurs, I don't think at all. So, yeah. Also, trial counsel failed to conduct an adequate pretrial investigation of Gaskell's vehicle, because they're saying that it was all Gaskell took her in his vehicle, and this had nothing to do with Camp, and he wasn't even there, even though he said in court that he was there in a big long allocution. So, yeah, trial counsel deprived Camp of his right to testify, even though, gosh darn it, he was fired up, ready to tell his side of the story, because that's what you want, the president of a biker gang to get up and say how even though everyone involved says he was the ringleader, he had nothing to fucking do with it. Rodent. So, should I call you Leroy or the rodent? I think right then you're over with in 1981 in a jury trial. Done.
It's fascinating that a rat is a rodent, and you've told us everything, sir.
And now you're trying to scurry.
Well, it sounds like he's scared to death of what's about to happen to him in prison.
It seems like it.
But he's been in prison for 27 years.
If he's a fucking biker gang guy, he'll probably find friends, I would imagine.
Probably.
I don't know. I don't know if this is considered... I have no idea.
This doesn't sound honorable by any stretch in prison terms. No.
I would think not. No. I would fucking hope not. No. What the fuck?
No criminal is going to look upon this.
I get that it's prison, but I would hope there's some sort of fucking code that says this isn't correct.
There is certainly honor amongst thieves.
If this woman killed your grandma or something, they might be like, yeah, I get that.
Way to go.
But no, even then they'd be like, it's a little over the top.
Right.
Hey, listen, I get that we're all in prison here, but That's a little much. That's all I'm going to say. Now, I'm not going to break your balls about it. I'm just saying.
If he did this to a cop because a cop gave him a ticket, they'd be like, you are a hero, sir.
Yeah. I'm just saying, don't put your tray next to my own eating lunch. That's all I'm saying. I just, you know.
Keep your shit on the other side of the
I got a reputation to uphold, you know what I mean? I can't have people going around telling people I had them pregnant. You know what I'm saying?
So, you say eat the fuck over there.
Eat the fuck over there. Jesus Christ, man. So he also is he's saying that the lower court must be reversed since the sentence should have been reduced. He's saying the sentence is excessive and illegal because of a later Supreme Court ruling that is not retroactive, so it doesn't matter. The imposition of consecutive sentences is illegal and unjustly harsh. He said that they intentionally lined up those sentences as much as they could to keep him in as long as possible. And it's like, you're
the idea.
You're a monster. Right. That's what the judge said.
I don't want you near my daughter, sir.
The judge said you are, quote, a menace to society. Right. Literally said you are a fucking human monster that we can't mix with the other humans.
The only way we want you out is if you're at least 82 years old.
Yeah.
To where a woman that's 29 could probably fend you off.
Might be able to take you.
Right. Right.
That's it. Even then, though, we'll have to do a physical test. You're going to have to do some calisthenics. Right. We're going to watch you and see what you do.
You're going to be under supervision for a while.
It's going to be very, very bad.
It's a rigorous.
It's a long certification process. Let's just put it that way. You'll probably die before we're done.
It's a rigorous return to society.
We're going to put you on the on the Stairmaster with those suction cups to you. That'll probably kill you. If not, maybe you'll get out. Fingers crossed. If it doesn't kill you, then you have to stay. Right. If it does kill you, you get to leave.
Good luck.
Yay, but you're dead. Treat him like a witch. If he floats,
you're free.
Then he's a witch, and we have to kill him. But if he sinks, hey, your memory is warmed. You're not a witch. Good
but
for
if
you. You're
floats,
dead, but you're not a witch.
He's about to be super free.
Well, dead actually, because then you're a witch, and then they're going to kill you in a different way. So yeah, it's also that the sentence that it was imposed on him, he says, is far harsher than his co-defendants. Yeah. How dare you? Right. We should all be sentenced equally. Myself and my 19-year-old stepdaughter had equal say in this. No, you were the ringleader. Right. You're the biker gang leader in the group, so they probably listen to you. You're probably the tough one. You're the only one with a nickname in this entire house.
Exactly.
The only guy with a street name in the whole house. I'm sorry. The stepdaughter didn't have a street name. No. She wasn't known as the butterfly knife or the switchblade or something. She was...
Okay. The field mouse.
The field mouse, yeah. Also, that the lower court erred in not granting his request for an evidentiary hearing, and a bunch of like little ticky-tack legal shit. Mm-hmm. Now they say that the petition was tossed based on it being, quote, grossly out of time, noting that counsel has been unable to present any basis for the failure on the part of the defendant to file within the time period allowed. Yeah. So basically, you're allowed to. What it says is a petition to correct an illegal sentence may be filed at any time. Mm-hmm. No other petition shall be filed pursuant to this rule more than 5 years after the rendition of the judgment or sentence sought to be attacked, unless it alleges facts showing that the delay beyond said time was due to the defendant's inexcusable or excusable neglect. Okay. He had a health problem. Yeah. Some lawyer had something that it was judged wasted his time. Out of his control. Otherwise, you have 5 years to challenge a sentence, which seems like plenty of time.
Yeah.
That's
I get sitting in a cot for those 5 years.
I get legal things come up and something might come up, but there's no that's an excusable neglect. Right. That would mean I didn't have any reason to. Then this came up. Now I have reason to. Right. This is just 5 years.
5 years sounds like a good window. I mean, you're
seems like it.
It's not like you got a 9 to 5 and you come home and you're like, I am just too tired.
What do I need to do again?
That.
What do I find? Oh shit! I'm in prison. That's right. Yeah. No, you're thinking a lot about getting out.
I'm sitting here watching a clear television.
Yeah. How long my sentence is? Clear television. So then they explain further in the law, this is kind of interesting, as time passes after conviction, they say the reason for this, the difficulties associated with fair and accurate reassessment of the critical events multiply. Achieving, quote, justice years after the fact may be more an illusory temptation than a plausibly attainable goal. When memories have dimmed, witnesses have died or disappeared, and evidence is lost or unattainable. So that's why they try to keep it in with that, which sort of makes sense and whatever. They said that it's not a rigid rule. When an illegal sentence is in question, no time limitations apply as long as they demonstrate excusable neglect, and that apparently happens all the time, and that's waived all the time.
They're just system.
Yeah, they're just saying you're a scumbag and you didn't have any excuse, and you're a piece of shit.
We're gonna hang on to you a while.
Yeah, that's it. Well, the thing is, he was convicted in 1981 and didn't file the first petition until 2002.
That's so long.
So 5 years is way shorter than 21 years. Right. That's so much longer. It's not like it was 7 years. Right. It was 21 years. You blew it, dude. They're like, who? Who the fuck are you again? Right. They had to look his number up and be like, what the fuck did you? I don't even know who you are. You don't even look the same as your mugshot anymore. Jesus.
Your sentence can legally drink beer at this point, sir. Your sentence voted amazing. 3 times
You're
already.
legal to drink beer in prison. Congratulations. Look at you. That's what they should do. Once you're in prison for 21 years, you should be allowed to make wine in your toilet. I feel like.
Or at least have a beer.
Yeah.
Have something fucking
No, you have to make wine in your toilet. That's the only way you're allowed to drink.
We'll ship you barley and hops, and you just got to make it.
You know what? Yeah, do that. It could be good. It could be bad. I don't know. I'm not sure.
It's probably bad.
Probably bad. probably not the best thing, but it would be fun for the first 20 minutes. Like, this is great. They're all getting along.
I'm allowed.
Then, holy shit, we've had 14 stabbings tonight. What the fuck, man? So anyway, he says the judgment here says, therefore, we are charged with searching the record for a showing of the imposition of an illegal sentence, the defendant's excusable neglect for the late filing, or interests of justice which would mitigate toward our relaxation of the time bar. After a careful review of the relevant facts and circumstances, we perceive no such facts or circumstances that would move us to disturb the PCR court's denial of the defendant's position. Get fucked. Your sentence is great. He says he comes back with an argument that the time bar shouldn't apply because of erroneous advice given by his appellate counsel. He says that his counsel advised him that many of the issues for appeal needed to be brought forth in a federal court, and because he contends he was forced to pursue federal remedies, he claims that's his excusable neglect. However, he didn't do the federal things that he was talking about until 1990, which is still 9 years after the sentence, which is still too fucking long, stupid. So I don't know if math isn't his. I feel like he probably wasn't an A student. I'm just going to say. No. Probably not. He also says that in this case, he has a sworn affidavit now saying that his defense counsel would not allow him to take the stand in order to testify on his behalf, and the defense counsel threatened to quit if he testified on his own behalf. Now, horseshit. Yeah. If you go to a judge and say, I want to testify and this motherfucker threatened to quit if I testify, that judge would go, he has a right to testify. If you quit, I'm going to hold you in fucking contempt of court for that. 1,000 times out of 1,000 times. Right. That is not allowed. Right. Sorry, it's his case and it's his life, and I'm not going to allow you to quit in the middle of a trial because he wants to take the stand in his own defense. Right. It's his right.
Also, that's going to help this trial go really fast.
Yeah.
Let him sit down and
it's going to be fucking hilarious. Put him up there. He's going to try to make excuses for making a woman blow a fucking dog. Right. Let's seriously hear what this dickhead has to say. So
it's an interesting color that they chose to paint her too.
Yeah,
I'm fascinated.
I think that's all they had.
You think that's what it is, or do you think they meant to racially dehumanize her or something, try to make jokes?
I don't know if they were. I don't know how.
They seem such scumbaggy pieces of shit.
They're probably racist, I'm sure, but I feel like they get some paint. What do we got? And he's like, I got some black Krylon. They're like, fuck, that'll good enough. Yeah, they were. I was painting that bike frame that I stole off the neighbor's porch the other day.
Remember the wrought iron fence was rusty?
Yeah, so it ain't no more.
It was just the tip. I got a lot of paint left.
Tons of it. So he says it says in here, the judgment, our state Supreme Court has recognized that the right to testify is essential to state-based concept of due process of law, which guarantees fair and impartial trial. They said that obviously he's entitled to testify if he wants, but the fact that this exchange happened in court probably means that it's not his lawyer's fucking fault. Yeah. This exchange happened in court. The judge said to him, quote, you'll have to go through him, quote, I'll ask for Mr. Camp now. Mr. Camp, would you stand up a moment? Your attorney has asked me to direct this question to you. Namely, you understand you have a privilege against self-incrimination. You do not have to testify against yourself. Moreover, if you wish to exercise the right to testify, you will certainly be permitted to do that. And I was just going to ask you if there's anything you want to tell the court at this time as to whether you do care to testify or you prefer to exercise your privilege against self-incrimination.
Right.
So that's clear cut, not asking the lawyer. I'm asking you in court.
Right in your face.
What do you want to do? And he said, quote, Your Honor, I feel that I should testify so that the court would know what happened that night due to the circumstances of your decisions on bringing up my past record, though. I feel it would be prejudiced to the jury, and it would just make things a lot worse than what the witnesses already said and some of their lies that they said, all right? So he said, I wanted to say my piece, but then my character shit comes up, and they're just going to bring up a whole bunch of other rapes and shit that I did in the past, and it kind of looks bad if you put it out in like a trial type setting, it looks bad. You know, you just lay it out in the light of day. You know, if we're sitting around having a couple beers around the bonfire or something, it don't sound that bad.
In context, it's great.
It sounds kind of fun, actually. It's going on a run.
Bad read
here in the daytime with the ladies present. You know how that goes. It just doesn't sound good.
It's like reading stand up. Like you read somebody's act.
It's not that good.
Not so funny.
It's the context. It's everything. The judge said, well, you certainly have a right to do that. And if you're prepared to do that, we'll proceed because we have the jury here. And then they took a recess. And the defense attorney said, Judge, I think he said he didn't want to testify. And Mr. Camp, Leroy says no, because of those reasons.
Yeah.
So he says, I don't. The judge says, well, you see, I can't be your lawyer. You're going to have to decide whether it's in your interest and talk it over with your attorney to testify or not. He won't get it through his head. He doesn't want to testify. The defense attorney says, Judge, I think what he says is he wanted to testify, but because of your Honor's ruling that the convictions could come up as past bad deeds, he does not want to testify. Court says, okay, is that right, Mr. Camp? And Leroy says, yes.
Done.
You didn't want to fucking testify.
Done.
Lawyer, nothing to do with it. Between you and the fucking judge. So they said, based on that fair exchange, clearly you could have testified if you wanted to, and go fuck yourself.
Yeah.
Other one, they said that he says that he makes several arguments, Camp does, regarding the ineffective nature of his trial and appellate attorney, saying that he's required to show a reasonable likelihood of succeeding with a different strategy.
Yes.
And basically, they don't. There's no way of winning this.
You're not going to win.
Yeah, they said the great majority of what he calls errors asserted by the defendant can be attributed to viable trial strategies. It's just strategy. Right. Do we want to how hard do we want to question this person, or how hard do we want to question that person, or do we want to introduce that, or when? Or it's all defense strategies. That's part of the game. That's like saying, a head coach is trying to throw the game because he decided to run on 3rd and 2 instead of pass. Like, was Pete Carroll trying to blow the Super Bowl? Like
Marshawn Lynch. Yeah,
that's what I mean. But it's still, that's a viable strategy to.
If that pass goes in the end zone, Pete Carroll's like a goddamn genius.
Of course, they knew he was going to run the Lynch, so they passed.
They got Lynch. Of course, he threw it.
Absolutely. So that's what I mean. It's all. That's why it's. Be careful picking an attorney.
Right. You got to be careful with everything.
Yeah. Try to make enough money to have an attorney that you pay for and will follow what you say.
A courtroom is a suited war zone. You have your strategy and you go into war with that strategy.
How it comes out. Yeah. Right. Sometimes you lose 34-17 and that's life, man.
You can't change a halftime game time decision.
You absolutely can't. They said that in this one, the defendant must overcome a strong presumption that counsel exercised reasonable professional judgment and sound trial a strategy in fulfilling his responsibilities, and they called what he's talking about with his lawyer bare allegations. No indication that any omissions of the trial counsel, nothing happened on purpose. The jury had a full and fair chance to evaluate the evidence and found you guilty. No independent or cumulative error by the counsel could have affected this decision. The sentencing arguments, basically they say it's the thing with the filing and all this shit, and they say sorry, asshole, not in time. Everything he said's bullshit. Affirmed. Rot in jail for 52 years. Dickhead.
See you around.
See you around. So Curtis Smith appeals. He filed a direct appeal. He raised his objection to the admission of the statements made during hypnosis by Jack Gaskell, and they rejected those arguments in his first appeal and told him to eat dicks and sent him packing on his fucking merry way. 2015, though, is another appeal. This is an appeal of parole denials because he's been up for parole several times. And again, he's talking about the hypnosis on this, which is ridiculous. They say the court found no merit in Smith's argument that more current and stringent regulations involving the use of hypnotically refreshed testimony should be retroactively applied to his case. Smith argued his guilty pleas to charges of murder, kidnapping, aggravated sexual assault, aggravated assault, robbery were induced by threats from the prosecution to use hypnotically refreshed statements from Jack Gaskell. So they're saying that even after the whole thing, he had new hypnotically. They had like this secret trove of hypnotic statements that they were going to use on him if he didn't plead guilty. Those dastardly bastards. Court found no merit in that argument. They said to go fuck yourself. Other co-defendants confirmed the statements in their guilty pleas, and no one, including Curtis Smith, has ever contested the truth or reliability of the facts set forth in the statements given by Jack Gaskell, either under hypnosis or not. So the whole thing is bullshit. He's not eligible to apply for parole again until next year.
2019.
No, this was in 2015.
Okay. So 2016.
So 2016.
Gotcha.
He filed 2 other state PCR petitions and 2 federal habeas corpus applications, all of which were denied. Okay. He was denied his first 2 applications for parole, and he has to wait till 2016. So he's been in jail for almost 30 years, basically. Yeah. Well, shit, now. More 35 years he's been in jail for, which is crazy.
I'm not good at math, and I knew that.
That's goddamn 35 years, yeah. The parole board in the latest denial relied in part on his pre-sentence report and the attached hypnotically induced statement of Gaskill, which is what he keeps fighting. Now he's saying that he takes the parole board to court, saying that not only should the hypnotically introduced things have happened before, but now they're keeping me off parole, which is even worse. So now he's whatever. It's ridiculous. But they said that the parole board, they rule that hypnotic statements or not, they're relying primarily on other information, including Curtis Smith's own statements that he, stabbed her, fucking dragged her, was angry at her gurgling, slashed her throat a bunch of times, and then finally buried her alive for the second time.
It's so hard to listen to.
It's the fucking
worst. It never gets
that's
easier.
After all the other shit.
Yeah.
Like, this woman had the worst ending to her fucking life of anybody I've ever heard, almost. Also, the board noted that he still did not seem remorseful. He wasn't remorseful at his first parole hearing when they told him, hey, if you want to get paroled, you should probably show remorse. Right. He showed up and was still not fucking remorseful at all. Still blaming other people. Still saying that he's being screwed over. Also, they noted that during his parole hearing, he attacked the character of the victim.
Oh, boy.
Here's what you don't do during your parole hearing. Right. Say that the victim fucking deserved it. That's what you don't do. You don't understand. She was talking shit. Oh, I'm sorry, everybody. Let's reconvene. We didn't
hear what he said?
We didn't realize she's been talking shit. No, she was talking. Sir, you're free to, sir. We apologize for taking 30 years of your life. She deserved every last thing that happened to her. How many times you make her blow the dog? 12. You know what? You were kind. You should have made her do it 3 times because holy shit. This guy's a fucking complete fucking...
What an idiot. He's a dummy.
Yeah, and also he continually blamed his relatives for causing him and forcing him to do the terrible things that he did to his former girlfriend that night. So not only is it not his fault, it's the people who forced him to do it, but it's her fault for being a fucking whore, apparently, or a loudmouth or whatever his stupid complaint was.
Where the hell was my mother?
Wow, what a complete asshole, man. Yeah, right there, cheering him on. He claims that at the time he received his second parole denial, he became aware of the hypnotically refreshed memory thing, but they say retroactively it doesn't matter, and there's no record here that he challenged any of the facts contained in his pre-sentence report, whether supplied by his uncle under hypnosis or from anybody else, including in his own fucking words, and Leroy Camps and everybody else. His argument that the parole board improperly relied on the hypnotic statement lacks sufficient merit, and that they tell him to officially eat dicks on a state level, actually now.
Dog
Listen, we've all decided that dog dicks are best for you, sir, on a state level.
Canine chomping is all for you.
Yeah. Now, this is all after in 2013, another judge rendered a decision denying his PCR petition on the same issue, find that it wasn't filed in time, blah, 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 about the hypnosis. Co-defendants confirmed each other. So he's been repeatedly now told to eat dicks. From everything I found, both of those 2 assholes are still in jail.
Great.
From what I know, I'm not sure about Gaskill. I couldn't find out about Gaskill, and I assume the women are out by now because they got 25 years. So even if they did the whole thing, they're still out. They're out in 06. So they're all out, but I don't think they're the dangerous ones. No. I'm going to say that as long as Leroy Camp and this piece of shit are away, it's probably for the best. And
I would hope that
Gaskill too.
Registered sex offenders wherever they're at.
Oh, fuck yeah. Fuck yeah. No, that was hardcore sexual assault and aggravated sexual assault. They're 100% sex offenders.
They're on the radar.
I hope that you get flyers about these people coming to your goddamn door, even if they don't live near you. Just, hey, these people exist. Listen to what they did.
I want that in the mail.
There's just a link to this episode. Listen to this shit. I mean, seriously, just that's all. And they back the fuck off. And man, so they're all in prison, thankfully. Poor Josephine Trombetta. I don't think I've heard of a worse fate for.
It's hard to think of
a person. That's somebody. It's horrific. I mean, she thought she was just going over for a drink with her on again, off again boyfriend, and then this all happens.
And she chose to get out of there, and then they wouldn't let her.
Yeah, and she had to feel somewhat safe, feeling that his mother was there, his younger sister was there.
The rodent was there.
The rodent's there. It's party time.
Yeah.
So, I mean, he's like Captain Kangaroo, New Jersey version. But I mean, if someone's mother and younger sister are there, you automatically feel like, oh, everything, this is a safe environment. Like, their family's probably not going to kill me as a whole because the mom and little sister are here. So everything's cool. It's really, usually they're the calming ones. But instead, the rodent, if he's in charge, anything's possible, I guess.
Jesus Christ.
So that is Middle Township, New Jersey, the panhandle of New Jersey. And Jack Gaskill, Curtis Smith, Leroy Camp, Ann Nealis, Amber Westcott, and what's her name? The Camp's mother.
Yep.
Frances Camp, I believe.
It sure was.
Frances, it was. It absolutely was, because it was Leroy and Frances Camp.
I'm just agreeing.
How the fuck I
there were
all
so
that.
many people, and they're all
Amber Westcott.
Equally
That's
awful.
the other one. Yeah, that's they're all terrible, awful people in a terrible, awful place doing terrible, awful, horrible things to each other. What a fucking nightmare. Wow, that's Middle Township.
Glad you found this.
I don't know how nobody's heard about this.
Yeah.
This was it was covered. I found the court documents and I found some a couple of very local newspaper, Orchard Beach News, shit like that, local newspapers that covered it from around that. No AP pickup, no anything.
What was going on at this time that they were like, we got other shit?
I mean, I guess the hostages in Iran. But still, how did the
crisis?
The things they made her fucking do. What the fuck? That is the most. How did nobody say, these people, look what they did? Oh my God. This poor fucking girl. Jesus Christ.
So fucked up.
So
the craziest part to me, being honest, there's no drugs involved.
None.
That we
I mean,
know
wasn't brought up.
There could have been.
I'm sure they were drinking.
But booze was all of it? That's bananas.
That's a lot of booze. Yeah. Well, I think the booze was probably just to loosen them up to get them to the point where they could do this.
Get
possibly.
to murder time.
Yeah. I mean, I'm sure. I don't know if the rodent can throw down sober, but everybody else probably could use a couple of drinks if they're going to fucking do all those. If they're going to, beat a woman and paint her black and burn her breasts and shave her head and
bring the dog in the room.
Bring the day. Where's Sparky? Bring him on in here. That's insane. If you like that story, please recommend it to a friend. If tell them this is the weirdest story you've ever heard, do all of that shit. Get on iTunes, Apple Podcasts, whatever it is, the purple icon thing. Give us 5 stars. Just tell us whatever you want. It's not for our ego. It really, really isn't. It's just to keep driving us up the charts with you, which you guys have done so much for us to do. Thank you so fucking much for that. Honestly, we really, really appreciate that and everything you do for us. If you want to buy merch, very easy to do. You can get t-shirts and all sorts of shit over there with all of our sayings and logos and everything like that. You can get those over at shutupandgivememurder.com. There's links to everything in there. Also, links to live show tickets. Live shows coming up. We have Atlanta, Minneapolis, which is already sold out, so sorry about that. We're going to keep you out in the snow there. Sorry. And then Denver. Enjoy your mall. And then Denver. And then at the end of November, we have Philly, Cincinnati, and then New York. And the most stupidest routed thing I've ever heard in my life. They said, hey, how can we get them the most possible time in the air? Is that possible? It's like a scheme for airline miles. Like, fuck my sanity. I need miles. Jesus Christ, we have that.
And how can we end up with the last show of the trip?
Hell on earth.
The furthest place from home.
Boston, Detroit, Chicago, Baltimore.
You betcha.
Fuck me. All in 4 straight days. I'm going to sound like this in Baltimore. Hey, guys.
I'm not telling you guys a story.
I like The Wire.
I'm going to make him whisper it.
We're going to have to, I'm going to have to be like a mute at these meet and greets to save my voice. I'm going to be like, and shake hands.
Fives.
And give high fives. I'm just going to be like, I'm going to be like Teller. That's what I'm going to be. I'm just going to smile and nod at everybody because I got to save my voice.
Teach you a card trick.
I'm saying, man, Jesus Christ. So please come out to these live shows.
Pull an ace of spades out of somebody's mom's asshole.
See us do magic. Fucking magic. And honestly, guys, if you haven't been to a live show, just go on social media and ask people, just go in one of these groups, say who's been to a live show, and just let them tell you, because we feel like dicks.
We want to tell you.
We feel like dicks saying that it's the best fucking comedy show you're going to see, and probably that you have seen, and you've never laughed that hard at a stand-up show. I goddamn promise you that. And we feel like dicks saying that, but it's true.
It's fun.
We throw down at these live shows, and it's just a lot. It's this plus the energy of being live plus visuals, which is a whole other level when we do the visuals. The visuals,
the rodent?
Yeah, that's what I mean. The visuals are a whole other level. Not only do you see that too, we throw in, believe me,
it's fun.
I'm a crafty fuck with these things. So please come out to these live shows. Also, before we get to the producers, one thing, because I got messages, and I've gotten these over the course of the show, but lately I've gotten a bunch of them that say, why don't we do credits at the end of the show?
Like what credits?
Like at the end of the show, they go, hey, producer this week was so-and-so, and research done by this person, music by, fuck your mother in the twat. You know what I mean? Like they do that little thing at the end, just a quick edited by this guy, and they have like a credit list of like
so long of Jimmy P is funny.
A list of like, well, at the end they have a list of like 6-7 people that put the podcast together. We don't have a list. That's why we don't do credits.
We got a list of
stupid.
People.
We have a list of people that are our producers, but as far as like, hey, we do this, it's just fucking, I'm just doing some shit, so it's not a big deal. I don't know why some of you need 8 people to put a fucking show together for 45 minutes when I do just fine doing it with just me and fucking Jimmy giggling over here, but it's fine.
We have credits at the beginning. Hi, I'm James Pietragallo with my co-host.
Here's Jimmy.
I'm Jimmy Whisman.
That's the show.
There's your credits.
No one else is involved. That's it. Sarah says hi back to you on social media and stuff. That's our fucking team.
That's
and does some marketing and shit like that. But the actual production of the show,
it's skeletons, man.
You're looking at it. It's this. I'm going to go. Jimmy's going to go home. It is actually midnight. We need to put the show out right now.
Midnight, motherfucker. It is
whatever. 12:30 on when the show. This is Thursday morning when the show needs to come out. I'm going to go up, edit it real quick, and put it the fuck out because I was at horrible service in a restaurant. My dad's in from out of town, and we went out to eat, and it was horrible service. And it took an hour 20 minutes to get it's smoked meat. You fucking idiots! It's a barbecue place. How does that take it? Never mind. So that said, I have to say thank you, and we have to say thank you to our long list of our favorite people in the world, our producers, who you can find that. And if you want to be a donor, a producer, a wonderful hero of the show, you can do that from shutupandgivememurder.com. There's links there that will take you to patreon.com/crime and sports, and also over to PayPal. Use our email address, crimeandsports@gmail.com, and you can make a one-time donation there. You want to get a hold of us, you can do that at crimeandsports@gmail.com, at Small Town Murder on Instagram, at Murder Small on Twitter, Small Town Pod on Facebook. And Jimmy, I need to hear, after that horrible story, I need to hear something that's going to cheer me up, like the list of my favorite goddamn people on earth. Hit me with it like a fucking lightning bolt, Jimmy Whisman.
This week's executive producers are Kenneth Meinhardt, Michael Kennedy, who donated twice this week. Thank you so much, man. Mike. Nicholas Levitt, Eva Tarowska, who moved back to England, but thank you so much, Eva.
Gave up on us?
Her work visa expired.
Shit. Well, we're sorry to lose you.
Thank you very much. Cheryl L. Wright, Caitlin Stupic, Denise Herdman, Maria Martinez, and Chrissy-Ann Castaldi. Thank you guys.
Thank you guys so much.
Chrissy-Ann comes through all the fucking time. You guys are fucking heroes. Thank you.
Really.
Sheldon Murphy, Tyler Atkinson in San Francisco. That was the fellow that we helped on stage.
Man. Cool dude.
Yeah, dude.
Nice hanging with that guy,
hero.
Man. Yeah, dude.
Good dude. Don't fucking run off next time.
Dude, that is the bravest man I've ever seen. I know
truly
blind people don't give a shit because they're like, dude, this is what we do.
Right.
But for people like us that are, fucking scared of the world anyway, this guy goes out by himself, don't give a fuck, going to do my shit, not going to mess up my world. Awesome dude, man.
Unbelievable.
We respect the hell out of you,
Keep going, Tyler. I know you deal and you battle and you're a fucking good kid. Thank you. Brendan Abels, Jesse Hartman, Hunter Perry, Sugarfoot's Cupcakes. Not sure what they are.
Abels is that teenager too, right? That teenage kid?
Yes.
Yeah. I think
so.
Yeah, he's a teenager. He's a good kid. Thanks for that, man. Appreciate it.
Stephanie Ponset, Samantha Bonezar. She's the czar of the bone.
Oh,
thank you, Samantha.
Thank you.
David Renazzi.
For all of your contributions.
Rob Madursky. That's the dude that was in Detroit, I think, with his daughter. Maybe it was New York. Maybe it was Chicago.
I get confused on cities.
It was in the Midwest or New York.
I remember it was cold
there. It was New York.
It was chilly out. We know that much.
David David Clark, Eric Langenecker, Karen Lambiasi. That's the one that brought us the sweets. In
thank
San
you.
Francisco.
Thank you.
Karen.
That was so cool.
Jessica Schaefer, Andrew Cordovis, Timothy Jenkins, Corey Braux, who is the president of the Lino Lakes Pronunciation Committee.
Hey, very nice.
He wants to always remind you that.
Oh, thank you.
Because Corey's a dick.
We need him.
I like it, Corey. Tess Garcia, not Dick, but you know what I mean.
Yeah, no, you like Dick too. Just move on.
Tess Garcia, Reagan Shalkley, Martina Lee Luonga.
Nice to see her again too.
Thanks, Martina. Tyler Sheets, Catherine Hintz or Heinz, Matt Dietrich, Gwendolyn Very, James Freiker from L.A. That's the guy that was in the Time Suck hat over there.
Oh, cool. Yeah, nice to meet you,
James.
Man.
Pleasure to meet you, brother. Cynthia Mixer, Sinfully Delightfully Clean Eating, Sarah Wright, Lindsay Rustin or Rustin, Laura Schwartz Laura Schwartz Hockey.
There you go.
Go see Laura and Schwartz.
She make hockey
shit. I don't know.
Or is her last name, is it hyphen hockey?
No, it wasn't hyphen.
Oh.
It might be hyphen.
Hockey shit?
Maybe her last name's also hockey.
Oh, shit.
Justin Miller donates every show that he listens to. And I think he may have wrapped up because he sent us a nice donation,
wow,
too.
Thank you so much.
Thanks, I mean, all of them are nice.
No, anything.
A much bigger one was my point.
We appreciate the hell out of you.
Thanks,
Thank
Justin.
you.
Big Rig Rick, and also the homies down in Florida, they are all guilty, they say, and also that we're safe. They're tough dudes,
Sweet.
I imagine, but
I like it.
They'll make sure that our buttholes stay tight if we're ever incarcerated in Florida. That's
nice. I'm happy to hear that. That's good. It's very important to me. I'm going to be real honest with you.
Rick, who sounds like a very tough man. Thank you, Big.
Thanks.
Big Rick. Why did Big Rig? It's Big Rig Rick.
Big Rig Rick sounds like a guy who'll beat you with a tire jack. Not even like a small, like a hydraulic one that you stand on and pump. One of those, pick it up and beat you with it.
the lumberjack one.
Yeah.
Jason Fuller, again, thanks, Jason.
Oh, thanks,
Bryant Toole. Jordan Barrett donated twice. Thank you, Jordan. Actually, both ways. Patreon and then PayPal. Thank you.
Ass and mouth. Okay.
Right. Exactly.
Thanks, brother.
Got both of them.
Appreciate it.
Gina Excel, Catmandu Real Estate, Neil Campbell, Christopher Ross, Under the Sea Fabrics, of course.
Thank you.
Kirsten Brosvik Flatyard. I think that's true.
Okay, I think that's true. I
think that's right.
I think that's true.
Laura Ashton, Kyle Knapp, Rika Deo, Rika, Rikka. Rika? It's Rika, right?
Sure.
Deo.
Ricka.
It's a tough one. Jason Miller, not the Jason Miller who's in trouble, by the way.
No, not that
Jason
guy.
Mayhem's going back to jail.
Yeah.
Fucking dipshit.
Yeah, of course he is.
Maria Taylor, Megan Simmons, Megan Simmons, Jen Gross, Alice, Alys, I think. David Clark, Kayla Pentecost, Devin. It's Devin Merriman, Drew Mannery. Is that a man boob? A mannery?
Mannery?
No, it's mannery for sure.
Oh, yeah, maybe. That'd be mammery.
Mannery.
Man-Marie.
Ryan Bear, Amanda Mitchell, John Pickett, Nick Jubry, Laura Christensen, Frank Maggio. You know,
hey,
that's our guy.
Frankie.
Lisa Benaderi. Lisa, thank you.
Thank you,
Owens,
Lisa.
Kim Owens Goldstein, Callie Ander, Dana Papalia. Jesus Christ, that's tough.
I'm going to roll today.
Amy Williams, Tony Noune. Noun, eh?
It's a noun, eh?
Noun, eh? Matthew Pauk, Scott Dawson, and Christine Stange. It's not strange, it's Stange.
Stange.
Thank you guys so much. We can't do this shit without you.
Thank you so much. Honestly, guys, we're blown away by your support.
It really is.
And we're just so happy. Thank you. We're making program note. We're going to be making a network change at the beginning of the year. So we want to tell everybody that ahead of time now in case they catch up later or they could be listening to this in January or February. So as of January 1st, we're going to be making a network change. It will still be on all the same platforms and all.
Change nothing.
But if for like 2 days, if we don't show up on Spotify, don't lose your fucking minds. We'll be back. We'll be on there. It's just a transition. We're transitioning to another network that's way. It's going to be a good move for us and everything. And it's helpful and it's all a good thing. So no worries there. But just to let you guys know technically and man, it's been a lot of fun this week. And Jimmy, what if they want to tell you how fun it's been for them? How can they do it?
You can find me at Whisman Sucks, WHISMAN Sucks on Twitter, Instagram, Snapchat. And thank you guys for being involved. Having you guys around is fucking, it's really, it makes the show much better. Just having an audience, obviously. Absolutely. But people that are involved is fantastic.
Especially when you give a shit.
Yeah, no doubt.
Amazing.
And Tim and Scott and Billy, I work with the fellas.
Oh, cool.
And they are amazing men that didn't tell me they were coming to the show, but they found their way out there.
Fuck yeah. Thanks for coming, guys.
And they do.
Did I get to meet them?
I believe you did.
Okay, I hope so. Well, thanks if I did.
So.
Yeah.
They're great, dude.
Met a lot of great people.
And thank
really
you guys
fun.
all for coming to the shows. These live shows don't happen without you guys.
Yeah, this is it, man.
Obviously, it's a really shit show without an audience. And when you guys are there, it's not a shit show.
No, we'll have a ball alone.
It's a great
we don't
show.
care.
Yeah.
We don't give a shit.
We do it right now. We just did it right now.
Yeah, we just did it. It was great. But the energy with you guys there is mind-boggling. Yeah. So we just love it. And everybody leaves with a smile on their face. Yeah. And if they don't, that shit's on them because we had a good fucking time.
You guys kick it up a notch like crazy, and we appreciate it. Where can they tell you how much you kick it up a notch?
You can do that very easily at Jimmy P is Funny. You can find me or just copy and paste my last name from the show description. Don't be a hero. You can't spell it.
No.
So don't even fucking try. That said, credits on the show. I did a bunch of shit and so did Jimmy. So here we are. Till next week, everybody. It's been our pleasure.
Bye.